Does
everything's...
someone call me a child?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Everything's broken. Wait.
My 16-year-old.
Uh-oh, this isn't good. Oh, there
That's
it
where my
is.
brain went when
I'm a playing
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Everything broke when you're in, Eva?
Yeah. Everything's broken. We're doing it live.
Awesome.
Doing it live.
This is what it is.
Hello.
Oh, Justin.
Oh my god, he's alive.
I can't find the Albert link.
Just go to the
In the
proper
Hellfire
link.
Club.
Just,
Yeah,
if you
Hellfire Club.
In the game table, I think.
if you just
You can
go
also
to the
bookmark it.
if you just go to the proper link, you'll have it.
Also, I don't know how you don't have the history. I just type owl in the search bar and it comes
Have
up.
other Albert links.
You can type
Oh, look
owl.
who's special.
I just go to the
And-
my D&D folder,
Beep.
Hellfire Club, and click on Albert.
It's too many steps for me.
It's moving a mouse, not many steps.
You have to move the mouse. You have to click at least 3 times.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Ellendir, Farcon, Gad, Grog, Hope, Stu, Veto. Why is... Oh man, my thing is lagging behind for the detection of talking. It's not from Twitch. It's from something else.
I've been
Everything's broken. You guys all taking super long vacations, forgetting how to log into the internet?
I didn't forget nothing. You broke it. It's your fault.
My trips feel like a vacation. We'll see.
Me when I do mushrooms.
I'm gonna be in Palm Springs for almost a week, but I'll have an almost 4-year-old, almost 1-year-old to deal with at a hotel.
have fun with that.
Not to mention the drive. It's almost 7 hours each way.
Why do you choose to drive into hell?
Could be worse.
Yet is the end of August. I do the same thing in Little Rock, Arkansas, and that drive is 17 to 18 hours each way.
Oh, this is sick. I
don't know that I would call it 6, sir.
I've upgraded my monitor since we last played another session. My main monitor, and it's like a much higher resolution, and now I can fit the D&D Beyond on half of the screen and Albert on the other half, and it doesn't look like it's zoomed in properly.
Everything's broken.
It looks legible.
That little bit written down. I poured through my notes. I kept getting the kids and trip prep, and then Zatteron fuckers are like, "Hey, we want to deploy your bot tonight."
Oh, no shit.
So I'm doing, they are figuring it out tonight because I'm like, I got D&D, but I did like feverishly do some final like code pushes and stuff. Because the 2.0 version that I've had running for the last week has been way more stable and better, but half the group doesn't even know what we're talking about right now. That green T-shot looks interesting.
Are they putting it into the Adaran Discord?
Discord, yeah.
Nice.
It'll be really nice for the whole group, and it's cool to see it working.
Fuck
You know,
that.
I just,
Fuck
there's
that
just-
goddamn game.
I mean, yeah, I feel the same way, but you know,
Shit.
bro,
Oh.
that game
Oh.
has always had
Oh.
issues with being described as like super click centric, right? And lately, it's like 1,000%. It's insane how
Yeah.
like, click centric it's
Absolutely.
become. With the one, like
You're
there
there.
was one like super influential power click who is now like super in bed with staff and half staff, and like they're just taking over the entire game and running everything, and all the role play is constantly them like circle jerking each other, and it just it's really killing the game. It sucks, but
How do I
half
participate?
these people don't play that, so it's fine.
How do I participate?
D&D. Yeah, let's do D&D.
I
I'm
would-
down for D&D.
Yeah.
How do I join the circle jerk?
You don't need to join. Shut up.
I need the circle jerk.
Previously on D&D.
Circle jerk.
What do you mean previously on DD? We don't know what anything has happened anymore.
We just see you all, or hear you all. It has been too long. I have set all the lights in my house to red. I've got my atmosphere my lava lamp on. I'm wearing my Stranger Things Hellfire Club T-shirt. I'm as ready as I can be with month-plus-old notes that I went over rapidly today and tried to update to my needs and get things ready. So we'll see how this goes.
Well, if it makes you feel better, are we describing what we're currently wearing?
No,
I
we are
feel
not.
like that's not a good idea.
We
It's
are
a-
not.
It is an extremely short list for me.
I
Yeah,
figured.
I'm aware. That's
So
what I
just-
said.
Just so everyone in the room is aware, this poor son of a bitch lives at a place where it's probably 100 degrees outside right now, and for whatever reason, his thermostat in his house lives at like 80,
5.
85.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh,
It's like 100 degrees outside here right now where I live
Dang.
too, but my thermostat's at 69.
I would have off myself.
nice.
Yeah, no, there's no. I lived above a pizza shop for a long time, and the first summer I didn't have an AC, and that almost killed me.
Can't do it, man. As much as I'd like, if I ever moved to like Europe, I would have to have a hefty renovation budget because I'm putting AC and ductwork into the house. I don't give a fuck if it, what the temperature is year round there.
Yeah, no, I need an AC. I want to get a portable one so I can, when it's nicer, I can open the damn window and get some clean air inside. I don't have windows. They fucking suck. Mine's like, my AC I have now is like 15 years old.
Is it like central air, like your condenser is 15 years old, or
No, I don't. I wish I had central, but
Oh,
you're talking about your
AC unit.
everything's
window?
broken here. Nice.
Yeah, I have a window unit. in my bedroom.
okay? Yeah, you should.
So
Yeah, those things.
it's a small little house.
Yeah, those things have like a 5-year life. You definitely need to upgrade that bitch.
Also,
Well, it's newer than the old one I had.
Well, by definition, it has to be. It's newer than the older one.
No, but the older one worked better.
Oh.
The problem is that like getting like AC installed into like a house is like $1,000.
Yeah, it's fucking expensive.
Expensive.
Yes, sure is. You paying?
I want to get one of those like. They have like those like kind of look like European style ones where it like bolts into the wall.
Oh, the radiators, but those are for heat.
They got the fancy ones now apparently too.
No,
You just have a remote.
they have like it's like an AC unit heater unit.
Oh, the chiller.
Yeah. But I could have gotten those really cheap, but the deal kind of went bust around here, so some shit. It would have been nice. It would have cooled my house down so much, and it wouldn't cost me so fucking much.
Okay, I think I got things fixed. Enough. Oh,
Like
that's
your
You
music.
all with
That's
your
what I
fancy
forgot to
cat.
open this Twitch. How dare I?
Oh no! I clicked the bad button. That's a bad button. Oh no! Whew.
I also
Fix
just
it.
realized that Tempo had been server muted as a spectator by Ogma.
Good.
I've been mad at Ogma, haven't
This
worked on
Ogma
Ogma
guy.
in a week or two because of a really silly Discord permissions thing that upset me. But I gotta say, it changing all your names to your party names when you join the channel.
It upset your butt.
And anyone that joins that is not in the party will automatically get a tilde in front of them, putting them at the bottom of the list and be served.
How does it affect the ordering for Veto's stream
It works fine. I
They're all
checked.
in the
Or-
correct order for history.
or Avo's stream?
He said he was keep saying that we broke his thing.
Look, can you, Hope? Can you kiss it, make you feel better?
I love this song.
But
My thingy.
one.
Can you kiss my thingy, make it feel better?
I won't
You know-
kiss your thing. It's too
What?
small.
Yo, this is from.
It's not a-
So that the
it
only
is-
thing Hope is kissing belongs
The pickle?
No.
The shaft of Gad?
to. All right.
Okay. Let's. Wow.
I'm glad to be back with you all. Welcome to session 25 of the Hellfire Club. We'll attempt a brief recap. We've had at least 2 long pauses in the midst of this story arc, which really has not helped anything. But here we are, and I'm excited. So, you all got sent by the Seneschal to deal with those pesky, goat-herding bandits that each of you first encountered when you were headed to Neverwinter. You went to tactically breach their camp. Nimnil ruined that. There was a massive, 2-session long, 3-session long battle that by the end of that, you found yourself up against the Drow warlock. What was that guy's name? Vulcan Uranus. And you discovered that people were being transformed into goats. Gad had a hard-on for wanting to kill Vulcan Uranus and charged him, screaming Leroy Jenkins. Just as the portal opened, Gad vanished, and the rest of the party said fuck it and jumped in the portal chasing after Gad. There was some encouraging by the DM and Larkun's artifacts to go in that portal. You all found yourself in the domain of the Archfey Elithris, in a fighting pit where you were being compelled to fight one another. There was a puzzle. You eventually solved the puzzle, escaped. You wound up in a hedge maze. Lots of giant
eventually.
Geese. Lots of giant geese. The hedge maze was insane. Some lessons learned there, but it was also fun to throw a party into a hedge maze. I mean, how often will I, that it had to be done.
Hopefully
unfortunately,
not very often.
Yeah. But it had to be I'll never do it again, but I'm glad I did it all the same. Nimnil met his demise there because he did Nimnil things, which was probably for the best given he kept running off on his own and trying to defile corpses. Granted, he had a corpse defiling problem since the first day we ever met Nimnil in his solo introductory session with the goat bandits, where I'm pretty sure he tried to skin the goat and the bandit.
Did he actually die there? I thought we just left him there.
Well, he met his demise. He got KO'd. Y'all only knew he got KO'd, but the party wasn't aware he got KO'd. The party was just aware that he ran off into the maze. But what had actually happened in his personal IC chats and stuff like that is he was kept alive by Elithris's subjects because Elithris had been fucking with him the entire time y'all were in Elithris's domain. Elithris was in Nimnil's head trying to turn Nimnil to have a pact with Elithris instead of Larkun. And trying to turn Nimnil against the party, basically. And so when Nimnil was in a position where it was death or that pact, Nimnil took that pact to stay alive. Which I don't know that we can really fault him for. He had no real choice in the matter. And he inevitably, after y'all escaped the hedge maze, wandered the Feywild a little bit, came across a bard named Jeffus and some fairy dragons, found your way to Larkun's workshop. Before you found... So you guys found your way to the workshop first and fought Velkin, if I remember it.
Nope. You
found Jeffus
we met
first.
Jeffus first.
Then you went to the workshop to fight Velkin was there. He was turning people into goats. Nimnil was helping him and was now clearly to some degree in cahoots, right? And a fight ensued. Nimnil drawing it out as long as possible.
Yeah.
He really did. It's crazy. But eventually he sacrificed himself to try and help the party. But if I'm being real, I mean, y'all were about to win that fight anyway, because he drew that shit out so long that he didn't make a difference. Things, the best laid plans, right? So y'all scoured. So that was when Nimnil finally met his demise. Y'all scout. He was killed by the Coddle. Celestine that was freed from the tank that was powering, the multi-portal goat fuckfest transformation stuff party. And that was some degree of poetic justice because his original pact that he had betrayed by being overly chaotic and borderline evil, because he was with a lawful good Quaddle, was his original pact, Celestine Pact. He's an Aasimar. Aasimars, I think, are Celestine heritage, right? So, or ancestry, whatever. So I felt like that was a fun little poetic justice twist. But anyway, y'all scoured the workshop, or some of you scoured the workshop. I had intended for that to be a big skill challenge event, but Gad had a Gad moment, and half the party split, and that whole session went crazy. But you guys did find some evidence in the workshop. There became this whole Gad side plot. There was a cursed contract. There's now an evil goose attached to Veto's head.
Can you please say his name?
Goose Willis Gainsford.
Thank you. Wait, what? It's just Goose Willis.
Well, you only know he's called Goose Willis. If you look at the artifact that you're attuned to, he's Goose Willis. Well, it was Gainsford originally.
I don't know how to read.
I always make a point of just saying the Goose
We know that.
repetitively, but he does have a name. It is Gainsborn, but you named him Goose Willis, and obviously he just honks. So the Goose,
bites.
Goose Willis,
For now.
Goose Willis Gainsborn bites, whatever, eats magic scrolls, whatever. So let's see, Stu, the bunny lady Stuella, hero of the Verdant Hedge Maze, led you all champion. I don't remember the title. Guide something.
Spirit guide.
Stu led you all to the
Close enough.
opening of what's called a Trod. Trod are ancient pathways that, like magical pathways through the Feywild that run across various ley lines to connect places. So a journey that might otherwise take you like weeks, months, who knows how long, because time's all relative in the Feywild.
Meanwhile, it actually took us months, like in real life.
Only because of the delays on the game, but yes. But it speeds that up rapidly. There were a couple stops along the Trod where things slowed down because of the magic of the Feywild trying to fuck with the party. The first was the Sorrow Marsh. I believe Hope and Farkon both lost their way and fell off the path into the muck and mire. That fight did feel like it dragged out, but there was also a skill challenge happening simultaneously to the fight, where players were trying to escape the muck of the marsh, and the party was trying to help them. Don't know that I would mix a skill challenge with a combat session again. It slowed things down a little bit, but you know, lessons learned. It was fun. From that, you all wound up in the Jubilation Fields, where some flowers and fairy dragons were having a party and wanted you to stay and dance with them forever. Veto got naked. He kept dancing. Grog ate some mushrooms. Gad picked some mushrooms. Things got a little crazy for a minute. Hope got shot out the sky. Grog got turned into a plushy doll. Grog's a plushy doll now. You guys escaped.
Please make me human.
You guys
You were a
escaped.
dwarf.
We're not
You were
human.
never a human.
Dwarf. Please make me dwarf.
You wish. You wish.
Oh my
You're
god,
plushy.
even transforming
You
to a
should make him
human would be
now.
better
You should
than
make
this.
him a human now.
Why? What's wrong with being a plushie?
I don't want to be a plushie.
Why? Plushies are awesome.
No.
be a pirate.
Just so he can
You-
reroll
Yeah,
his
being a
character
plushie
points.
makes Grog want to kill himself.
Every child you come across is going to want to keep you and
Grog
love
is-
you and love you forever and ever.
Grog is going to be significantly depressed until he, while being a plushie.
You should make it
from-
so he can't drink grog and it just like makes his fur wet and
I
stuff.
don't think he wants to drink grog anymore. I think he kicked the habit after
What?
you know he got abducted by a bunch of cultists and stripped naked and almost killed, and then next thing he knows he gets turned into a
So
goat.
my-
I'm pretty sure he gave up drinking. Despite
He gave up
being-
drinking.
My ancestral artifact.
Let's see. So after that, I think it was called the Boundary. Yes, the Border Woods. The Border Woods. There were a bunch of faces in trees. The woods basically came alive and were talking to you, testing you, questioning you, gossiping with you. All these ancient trees trying to chat with each other and chat with you about all the goings-ons of the Feywild and what was going on with you in it. You guys breezed through that with flying colors. Like, you killed that skill challenge. I don't think you had a single failing point. And it was a thing where if you had racked up more failing points than passing points by the time you hit a certain point in the Border Woods, you would have had to fight a treant and like some shrubbery things. It would have been a crazy fight, but you guys avoided that. got a ton of XP for bypassing the skill challenge entirely. And I'm sure you all were ready to have a pause on the combat anyway after failing the marsh and the jubilation fields.
Most certainly.
So that brought you to the Border Guardians. There were 3 Guardians standing outside of the Border Stones. You guys presented some evidence to them. It was I think a pixie, a satyr, and a red cap. That red cap wanted to fight you. He wanted to drink your blood. Thought he was a Barnabas or something. But you guys nailed that too. I don't think you had 1 negative point in the tallies I was doing for the skill challenge. And you passed through that with flying colors. They blew some horns. They announced the arrival of these mortal witnesses to the border court, or the boundary court.
Is it like super rare for mortals to be on the court?
Yes. Yes. And we will cover some of that as we begin. But so you all were approaching, and let me change the splash art here, and then I'll describe as I go for Hope as well. But as
These
the
things were
Guardians
not mortal.
stepped ways off in the distance, there were 4 obelisks, like obelisk like large stones, like sticking up into the air, like in a circle atop like a mound. This is a convergence of ley lines that not only marks the boundary between great courts, but as it is a convergence of ley lines in the Feywild, it is a place of great power. And the whole place is just kind of shimmering. As you approach, like more and more comes into focus. You guys were kind of chatting amongst yourselves as you walked closer after your arrival had been announced. So here's my notes. As the party approaches the stones rising in the distance, all manner of fey beings begin to take shape from shadow and light. A chorus of chatter gradually quiets, hundreds of eyes turning to observe your approach. The shaft of Gad begins to vibrate and burn with an intense heat as whispers ripple through the gathering like wind through leaves. With a burst of power, the jade pickle quiets and cools, and a noticeable wave overtakes each and every one of you. Each phase sylvan utterances becomes intelligible to the party. An amorphous figure groans, "Mortals at the boundary court." What appears to be a centaur woman questions, "Is that a goose upon his head?" Some form of pixie exclaims towards Grog, "Look at the stuffed thing that walks! How cute! I want one!" The gnarled shape of a dryad croaks. They smell of iron and sweat, nearly spitting the words in the passage of time. Another whispers to her companion, "These are the ones who freed that rhyming fool? Hush, my love, they bear evidence." Anybody? Any? Or do you want me to continue? Does the party need to speak amongst themselves, or do you want me to continue?
So are these the people on the court, or just the people who are like observing?
There is a
like the
large
bystanders?
crowd assembled. These are observers as you approach.
Grog will sneer at the observers who call him cute.
Oh, no.
Hundreds of eyes turned towards you.
Here we go.
Stu's just gonna hop a little bit forward just to keep the
Grog will
group going.
Grog will be like, "I'm not cute, I'm furious." Oh wait, can I talk yet?
No, you
No,
still
right?
can't talk.
The party has spoken. You cannot
Squeak.
talk.
You can make goat noises.
Talk.
It's just a bunch of furious goat noises coming from this stuffed goat.
You gotta pull a string.
I see Elender.
I made a suggestion that got.
Make that a thing.
I made a suggestion that got vetoed. Get it?
What's that?
That we would refer to him as just whatever random stuffed or stuffed animal type thing, and then he just magically or scientifically rather became that animal.
Oh well, you gotta let we haven't played since you made that suggestion.
Well, I have to make it up. I have to make the suggestion now. That way, it could fester and sink in.
So Stu is hopping forward, trying to kind of keep the party moving, despite the crowd gawking at
I'm definitely like leading and just not paying attention to the crowd and just walking forward to wherever the main court is.
Cat 2 is setting an example and marching on to the stones with Stu.
I'm just following Stu.
All right, so the four obelisks pulse with ancient power, the convergence of ley lines growing visible as threads of silver blue light. As if cued upon your arrival, the ground begins to shift and contort. Living stone erupts from the earth, while twisted roots weave together, forming a vast amphitheater. Between three of the obelisks before you, thrones rise. In the center, ancient oak and stone fuse together, roots delving deep into the leyline nexus. Moss and lichen pattern the surface with runes that look ancient beyond your comprehension. It seems to exist in multiple seasons at once, budding leaves, full greenery, autumn colors, and winter frost, all present across the sovereign seat. Between the earthen obelisks on your right, facing the amphitheater, and to the left of that center throne, the sunlight seems to crystallize and become infused with living gold, flowers blooming from golden veins in an eternal adornment. Butterflies of pure light dance around the object, taking shape, and the air shimmers with warmth. The throne seems to make everything around it more beautiful, more perfect, more vibrant and real. Across from this crystalline throne, to your left and the center throne's right, shadow begins to take form between the boundary stones, wreathed in mist that never quite reveals its true shape. Stars glitter in its depths like a multitude of peering eyes, and the temperature drops noticeably in its vicinity as frost forms across the ground and the breath becomes visible to those around it. Some of you might notice that the crowd has parted in a wide circle around you the closer you've gotten, giving you perhaps 30 feet of space. The air practically crackles with anticipation and barely contained magic. Suddenly, in a burst of rainbow smoke and golden sparkles, a figure materializes at the circle's center. A Haragon of impossible color stands before you, his fur shifting through spring pastels with each movement. His eyes hold depth.
Did he cut out for you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Before turning his
God.
attention to you. What?
You said his eyes and then cut out.
Ah, shit. That's weird. I don't know what happened. All right. A Haragon of impossible color stands before you, his fur shifting through spring pastels with each movement. His eyes hold depths of whimsy and ancient sorrow, fixed on all of you as he executes an elaborate bow to the assembled crowd before turning his attention to you. A familiar voice launches into a clearly rehearsed Sylvan cadence, yet the language is clear to you all. My saviors bold, my breakers of chain, though meeting like this brings joy and pain, a debt I owe, how that rankles and burns, yet grateful I am for each twist and turn. He pauses, his expression growing momentarily somber. 7 you were when first we did meet, now 6 you stand on weary feet. The Asimar's choice was noble and true, though where his soul wanders between me and you, he taps his nose conspiratorially. Celestials claimed him at moment of death, but one who carved corpses with gleeful breath. The 9 hells might call, Avernus might claim, a soul touched by darkness despite heaven's name. Come, the queens await, the elder presides, and truth must out, whatever betides. You freed me from prison, now free me from blame, or all our efforts will be in vain. The crowd murmurs at this, a mix of anticipation, judgment, and that particular hunger for drama about to unfold.
Is this Lord Coon that we're talking
Who's to my left right now? Who wants to
I don't
claim
know
being
that the
to my
voice
left?
would have necessarily been familiar to Grog, but the rest of the party would know that voice as...
Oh, I recognize that voice all too fucking well.
the rest of the
He can
party would
change
know
his
that
voice. It's the way he speaks.
It's definitely Larkoon, just to be clear, to anyone who was wondering. Gad, I am not sure who is to your left right now. What is our marching
Let's
order,
just say-
party? What
Let's
are we
say
doing?
Farcon is to my left,
Huh.
and then I'm gonna lean over to Farcon and be like, "It looks different than I would have expected."
Yeah. He's a little fruitier than last time.
Stu was
But,
kind of
hey, you don't know.
slack-jawed watching, but she'll quickly fluff out her fur and clean herself, and then just hop straight over to Larkoon.
And actually,
Well,
Larkoon said
lean
there's
down
6 of
and-
us. There's still 7 of us.
Well, he meant the 7 seekers. But yes, you I mean, there's 8 if you count the demon goose on Veto's head.
No.
No one counts that.
Are we-
The goose doesn't count? Okay.
It counts.
No.
Veto counts.
It counts, or it either counts or Veda's gonna start poking it.
Now is not a good time to fuck it. I am just saying. So let's see. You're continuing forward with Larkoon, I assume then.
Yeah.
All right. The murmuring crowd falls silent as the air itself seems to hold its breath. Larkoon lowers himself into another deep bow. From the Eastern throne, sunlight begins to intensify despite the eternal twilight of the Feywild. It grows brighter and warmer until it's almost painful to look at directly. Then, like dawn breaking the horizon, Queen Titania simply is, as if she had always been seated upon her throne. Her beauty
my
is
gosh.
devastating, making everything else seem dim and false by comparison. Flowers bloom in her presence, and several lesser Fey openly weep at the sight of her. She wears gossamer robes that capture every color of summer, and the depths of her eyes seem to hold the weight of every story ever told.
Without
Simultane-
realizing, a tear falls from Gad's eye.
Excellent. Simultaneously, from the Western throne, shadows deepen and stars begin to appear in the darkening sky above. A chill wind carries the fragrance of winter roses and the musk of pages from old tomes filled with ancient secrets. The Queen of Air and Darkness manifests like nightfall, gradually, inevitably, until she takes her throne in terrible splendor. Where her sister is devastating beauty, she is beautiful devastation. Her gown seems cut from the void between stars, and her eyes are darker than the space between Veto's cogent thoughts. Lesser Fae prostrate themselves, some trembling with fear, and others with desire.
Stu will hide behind Larkoon.
Everybody roll a d20. Wisdom save. The sheer presence of both queens in such proximity is overwhelming to your mortal senses.
Shit.
A
Oh,
wisdom
except Stu.
save.
Except Stu. Stu
Oh.
automatically succeed.
Can I get a
Yeah, I was gonna
advantage
say,
on
sounds-
this?
It would sound like Gad already failed from how I described my tier, so I rolled an 8.
Good
Yeah,
news
we
is
did
those
too.
of you with Fey ancestry get advantage.
Oh my god, I critically failed.
Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Grog.
I
Yes.
crit one.
Yes,
no.
Grog, yes.
Oh no.
I critically failed.
I would like to
Cat
request
Twitty.
Veto
Why are you
having
saying
advantage as he is concerned,
I
concentrating
don't
on that
understand
goose.
what just happened. What,
You don't
what
believe
did
in
we
magic.
do?
Wrote
Get outta
skill
here.
challenge effects for the possibility of nat 1s and nat 20s. Okay.
Wait,
where
I'm
we?
confused
as to
Those
what
with-
I
those
just
with
did.
Fey ancestry did take advantage. Yes.
Yeah.
I just rolled
Gad-
twice.
Gad failed twice.
Well, only one of them was a crit fail, so.
Hold on, let's go back to my nat 1. What does a nat 1 do?
Hang on. I'm working on. Okay, a nat 1. Well, first off,
Still gotta go.
everyone that failed,
Well,
it was a 15. Did anyone
Hold
actually
on,
pass?
what did we even
Oh,
I
save
passed.
against?
Archon,
Wisdom.
as I told you, the sheer presence of both queens in such close proximity is so overwhelming to your mortal senses
No.
that you have to make a wisdom save.
Okay, I missed
Good
that
job, Hope.
sentence. And then everyone was
Hope
rolling
passed,
with
Archon passed. Elendil passed. I thought Hope.
Oh.
Hope did that 20th. Oh shit, Hope.
I really thought Veto would lose.
Tell me I'm
17.
about to turn into a dwarf.
Gad failed, Grog failed, and that's it. Just Gad and Grog failed. Okay. So everyone that rolled under 10 falls to their knees, temporarily stunned by the majesty of the queens. So Gad's on his knees. The nat 1.
Can I fall to a knee?
Oh, we're getting to my nat 1.
I'll allow it due to your Fey ancestry. The nat 1, the sheer weight of their auras has made you pass out and you're incapacitated. Like you're not.
Why were you saying yes? Why were you saying yes like it was a
appropriate
good
joke,
thing? Ugh.
She rolled the nat 1. It made me happy that the incapacitation that I put in
Ugh.
came into play on the skill challenge. It's great.
God
Yes,
damn it.
indeed.
on the stuffed
I was saying
animal.
yes. I was happy.
The toy just gets knocked off to its side.
Okay, so Gad, I need.
I thought
you
I
to
was being
roll
held.
I need Gad to roll a 1d6. While Gad does that, Hope, because of your natural 20, the presence of both queens has actually filled you with courage, and you have gained heroic inspiration if you do not already have it. Gad has rolled a 6 on his fail, so the conflicting auras leave you reeling, and you will have disadvantage on all checks for the duration of the trial.
Bruh.
Oh,
Is that the same for me?
bad.
Does that counter because I had a Fey advantage?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I mean, you can, if you so. There's three, there's 3 different outcomes for the 1d6. So if I let you roll it again, you know, you can roll the 1d6 one more time. I'll allow it with the Fey ancestry. That works for me.
Specifically, okay, maybe what I said wasn't clear. I was just saying that the disadvantage would cancel out my Fey advantage.
The Fey
Like, if
advantage
I-
normally works on charm. In this case, I gave people with Fey ancestry the advantage against the wisdom save from the queens because they would be like less stunned by the aura of the queens because they're Fey. Like some familiarity about this is in your blood kind of thing. That said, you still failed, so the effects of the failure and your
Yeah, yeah.
roll on the fail table
The other
still,
roll was a
still are
5.
there. So 5 and 6 were the same category of you're fucked for the
Okay,
trial. So,
Someone else
sorry.
deal with this, guys. Someone else deal with this.
So Hope got heroic inspiration if she didn't already have it. Vetto, you need to roll a 1d20 for the goose.
My God.
Oh, dear God.
That one.
You just got a 1.
Oh my.
The goose at the sight of the queens honks loudly and inappropriately at both queens. And the queen in air and darkness actually looks at all of you and sneers, and she waves a hand. All of the goose's feathers fall out. And as the feathers from this now bald goose fall to the floor, they all seem to dissolve. And Vetto, your face, it starts to tickle. It starts to
Oh.
tickle.
Oh,
beard-
no.
A beard
Oh,
of feathers, feathers sprouts from your face. You have a goose feather beard.
No.
I
Amazing.
think they call it down. Your face is very soft now.
No.
Yes, you have a goose feather beard, and you have a bald demon goose on your head.
No.
Beto attempts to wake up from this dream he's obviously in.
He's
Wake
pre-plugged for
up.
dinner. Goose is pre-plugged for dinner. Vetto, you have a feather beard.
No.
Yes.
You said this already.
I'm afraid so, sir. I'm afraid so. There's nothing to be done about it now.
Terrible.
Perhaps you can figure it out later.
Wait, can
Um,
Beto roll to see if he's completely unaware of his new beard?
Oh, you would have felt it. The queen.
Yeah,
would've-
he
Definitely
did
felt the
feel the
twinge.
I mean-
tickling.
Most people would have
Yeah.
felt it. Beto, on the other hand,
What he thinks about his new feather beard is definitely Vetto. He would know it's there, like he knows he cut his fingers off, but he thinks he's in some fever dream. Vetto?
No.
No.
Vetto's in shock.
I guess I just have a.
Vetto's
Why do
like
I get
the
punished for this
science
stupid
that can
goose?
explain
Hold
this.
on a second. Everyone should have
because it's your goose.
It's your
Not
goose.
my-
Your goose.
not my goose. It's our
You
goose.
signed the
Like,
contract.
you definitely have claimed
It's
that goose.
our goose.
It's our
All right.
goose.
No.
As Vetto, you know.
I don't
deals with his
blink.
new feather-
I don't even. No reaction.
No reaction. He's
I just try and grab the goose's beak and keep it quiet.
Okay. For now, the goose is so stunned by the fact that it is bald, that you were able to hold its beak.
I stick my finger in the beak too, just so it's a pacifier.
Oh my God.
Now you're really
Just
testing
gonna-
him.
I'm just gonna keep moving for the moment, but we'll come back to that if necessary. The two queens regard each other across the amphitheater. The tension between them makes the air spark with competing magics. Where their influences meet, impossible things happen. Snowflakes that burn, flowers that seem to wither and bloom simultaneously, shadows that cast their own light. Those of you familiar with the Feywild might know this incomprehensible sight has not been witnessed in centuries, and perhaps has never been witnessed at all by non-Fey mortals. Titania speaks first, her voice like honey poured over silver bells. Sister, how long since we last held court together? The Queen of Air and Darkness responds, her voice the whisper of silk across steel as she scoffs. Not long enough, perhaps. Yet here we are to judge our own by testimony of mortal witness. The Northern Throne, positioned between the sisters, begins to thrum with deep power. The ley lines beneath the amphitheater glow brighter, and the sound of ancient forest fills the air. Creaking wood, rustling leaves, the unintelligible calls of beasts long extinct. Elder Sylvanas doesn't arrive. He emerges. His form rises from the throne itself, as if the wood and stone were merely waiting for this moment. He looks impossibly old, his bark skin inscribed with the history of the Feywild itself. His eyes are deep pools of starlight, older than either queen. When he speaks, it's the voice of the first tree learning language. Summer's glory, winter's truth, both come before the boundary stones. The Nexus remembers your mother. It remembers when there were no courts, no boundaries, only the wild. Both queens incline their heads slightly, the barest acknowledgement of his authority here. By this point, every Fey being of the assembled crowd has fallen into some form of a bow.
Ooh, let's do a bow.
Farcon's gonna bow as well.
Gad is still on one knee with his head down.
But would definitely bow to Savannah.
Grog is unconscious.
That finger's in that goose's mouth.
Beto, please.
Elender bows.
Alrighty.
Grog is once again unconscious.
Grog is still. Everyone's kind of. I mean, to be fair, it's kind of a stunning thing that you're witnessing right now, so it's not a surprise that no one has moved to help the plushy goat that is just incapacitated from witnessing it.
I'm pretty sure that someone was carrying me too, because I was just.
You're a fainting goat now, aren't you?
As the royal presences settle, another figure steps forward from the crowd. Archfey Elithris moves with calculated grace, his satyr form taking on a careful balance between light and shadow, deliberately positioning himself as neutral between the courts. His beauty is sharp-edged. He wears robes that shift between deep purple and midnight blue, and his expression is one of perfectly crafted concern. Your Majesties, Elder Sylvanas. He bows precisely, not too deep for either queen, showing no favoritism. I come as both witness and wounded party. Denison's dead, contracts broken, and wild accusations flying through the wind like autumn leaves. He gestures toward Larkoon with elegant disdain. This jester has sown chaos across multiple domains. The evidence brought me to your august presence again. I seek only truth and recompense for damages done. Larkoon's composure cracks slightly. Truth from you? You're the architect of this whole scheme. Elder Sylvanas raises one hand and both Archfey fall silent. All will speak in turn. The Boundary Court is now in session. Let none speak false. Let none work magic even by our leave. Let the truth be revealed, whatever its shape. The ley lines pulse, and everyone present feels the binding of his words. Elder Sylvanas gestures, and roots erupt from the earth around the Seven Seekers. They weave together, lifting you onto a raised platform of living wood, a witness box elevated some 5 feet above the amphitheater floor. You all stand together in this natural cage of twisting branches, able to see and be seen by all.
Excuse me. Stand?
What?
Am I still unconscious or am I...
Yes.
You're still unconscious.
You're
No one has bothered to help you.
If Nimno was here, he would have casted
so we're not-
Bonfire right now.
So we're not all standing.
Okay, I'm sorry. Most of the party is standing
My
and you're
gosh.
unconscious. Below you, Larkoon and Elithris take positions on
important
opposite
information.
sides of your platform, like opposing councils. Elder Sylvanas continues. We have been here before. Larkoon's domain was diminished, surrounded, imprisoned. The evidence seemed clear then. Now he has seen himself freed and claims new proof, carried by mortals. These are grave accusations. Accusations that could ease tensions which otherwise might bring war between the courts. He looks directly at the party. You stand where few mortals have ever stood. Speak poorly, and you may never leave. Speak falsely, and the roots that hold you will become your tomb. But speak truly and well. You may prove yourselves worthy and prevent catastrophe. Who among you will serve as primary voice?
God damn it! Why do I? Guys, the disadvantage.
Grog wakes
man.
up and says, me.
No, Dad kicks the stuffed animal out of the cage.
He has to be healed in some capacity for that to happen.
But that Goose Willis is gonna speak.
All right, chat. Do I take the roll even though I have disadvantage and see how this goes?
No.
The party does have a moment to speak amongst themselves. Last you commented, I mean, Gad was down on one knee with a head bowed and a tear coming down his eye, though all of you have been lifted up on this living wood platform. Everybody bowed except Veto, who has a finger stuck in a goose's mouth.
Magic can't be used in this court whatsoever, so I can't get rid of your.
Yeah, you can't give me advantage or anything. Well, I mean, I'll speak the truth anyways. If I can see what happens.
Now, is this is he getting disadvantage on saving throws, or is he getting a disadvantage on ability checks?
Checks for the trial was what he rolled.
Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. This could go very poorly, guys.
I mean, if you want Elendil passed, I don't have disadvantage. I'm just not confident in my knowledge on everything.
Stu's in the position to lead here.
I'm just saying, you guys don't want
Who
Veto to
took the
volunteer.
best notes?
Veto thinks he's dreaming.
Correct.
All right, I'm leaving this up to a D20 check.
Veto-
DC 12.
Veto now.
If I meet or beat
Even more
12, then
so
I'll be
thinks
the
he's
person.
dreaming. With a beard full of feathers.
Are you
Alright, I
gonna
got
roll?
one.
Oh
It's
my
someone else.
god.
It's someone
All right.
else.
Elendil.
All right,
What's the
Uh,
roll?
Gad will,
Elendil will step up, even though he's.
yeah, Gad
I'm not confident. I know everything's going on.
We all grouped up
Passes
to
a
watch
stack of
Gad
stuff to
roll
Elendil.
something.
Yeah.
So, Elendil, you now have all the evidence on you: the book, the contract, and the journal.
Pretty sure I've had it for a while.
No, I
By
had
the
it
way,
after the
wasn't
gateway.
Oh.
isn't the goose one of the things that we picked up? Like, wasn't it like
part of
a
the
scroll
contract.
before?
Yes, it was the
Yeah.
cursed contract.
It's part of the contract. Yeah.
I still think you tricked me into it.
Most certainly.
You're
you
the
did.
one who understood it.
I mean, my goal was 100% to trick somebody into it.
And you're
I
just
got
like,
asked a
"Why?"
voice from Elendil, and it was Do you accept? I'm like, sure. What?
You could have told us or explained us whatever.
I thought it was
Elendil.
Elendil talking to me.
Anyway,
Alright, so Elendil steps up.
I would look
Yeah.
towards Elendil. Well, hope
Under-
we look towards Elendil with stars in our eyes. I mean,
As Elendil steps up, Elder Sylvanas will just give the slightest of nods. It's almost like creaking wood or branches in the wind. Tell this court how mortals came to meddle in Archfey affairs from the beginning.
Oh, good.
How
He- Did he explain his name to us?
How did you first meet Larkoon?
Fuck. So,
Larkoon came to us. Well, he will bow in return to the slight nod. And then he will speak and saying, Larkoon came to us. In the
for Numno.
through a pact of one of our former companions. And we grew to know him minimally through the actions of our companion.
Sounds like a I will let you choose persuasion or performance.
I'll do persuasion.
All right.
This is gonna go bad. I can feel it in my bones.
Ooh, no, it's
Nice.
okay.
18.
Nice
He's got a
job.
+5 on persuasion. He's a good one to be talking right now, it seems.
Well, I mean for tonight, not for this roll.
There's a murmur through the crowd. The queens, like their faces barely move, but the words seem to sit. Elder Sylvanas motions past Elendil to the centaur. Is this how you also recall events?
Farkon, you're the centaur.
Yeah. Munching on snack.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds
There's
about
this,
right.
Space, yeah.
Is that,
I'm trying
is
to
that,
make sure.
Nay!
Make sure Grog's okay.
is that all you have to say?
Well, he said from the beginning, by the way, Elendil, not just that's how you met him. You should probably explain the rest of the stuff.
Does he know the rest of the stuff? Because I kind of forget. It's been a long
I
time.
mean, that's what I was saying at the beginning of the session. Whatever details you expect me to remember about these things
So-
is going to be.
I
All
tried
right.
to give you all a very thorough
Okay.
recap for a
Yeah.
reason, without
Yeah.
giving you too much of a. I wanted to
Yeah.
spark memory
Remember-
more than put it all directly in your hands, so to speak.
I
the
forget
mouths,
when he spoke to us.
he spoke with us when we was inside of the tunnels when Nino broke
with the
back.
ghosts and
We
stuff.
was down
You're in
there
the
with
ghost
ghosts
room.
and everything. Yeah.
I can't remember a fucking positive thing about Larkoon.
Yes, and that's when the pickle. I mean, not the when the like the water hole thing happened and the dream. Well, not dream, but like not dream, but dream happened to Nino and like the goddamn pickle.
Sounds like Hope should be
formed
talking.
and- No, I don't need to
Sounds
talk
like
to
Hope
Got a
knows what
better
the hell
memory
happened.
than we do.
Yeah, well, that's what we need right now.
Which I don't understand because Kurt plays in like 20 D&D games.
Is Hope quietly speaking to the rest of the party about these events right now?
Yes,
What is?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay. So Elder Sylvanas, after the centaur, who is preoccupied with the unconscious plushy goat, collapsed on the platform, will turn his attention to Hope as she speaks. And did you have something to add to the story?
She would dip her head and say, yes, the events that happened was as followed. Our companion, Nimno, upset a ghost inside of the tunnels that we met Larcoon. He broke his pact then with another entity, and Larcoon took him up and tried to reform him. The events that are followed was that it turned out that we discovered that there were some bandits that were that was buying up goats, stealing goats, more or less. Well, it turns out that it was worse than that. People were being turned into goats. That is the beginning of how we met Larcoon.
Chris will interrupt before Hope is able to end there. Such vivid imagination, perhaps mortals see conspiracies in every shadow. The crowd, will murmur in reaction. You'll hear little whiffets of Sylvan here and there. Yes, mortals lie as easily as they breathe.
I serve only a mentor, and every word that I try to speak is always as the truth as much as I know it to be. I do not lie to the Force. I only speak the truth.
Who was that interrupted? Who?
Elithris.
Yeah. Okay.
One of the queens will raise her hand, and the crowd will fall silent. Hope, roll me a performance check. You may have advantage because that was a lot of detail you managed to remember that the party was struggling with.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Good job.
I can remember which one's the good one, if there is a good one.
Elithris is mad. Larcoon is neutral.
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, they both seem bad.
They're both
Hold on.
bad.
Can-
It's all about
Advantage?
truth, not who's bad and who's good.
Advantage
you
on
guys
performance.
Do me a favor real quick.
Yes.
No.
Tell me what to do.
Ellendir, can you just talk for a moment so I can see where you're at?
Yeah, I can talk, bitches! I can talk a lot, talk a little bit, I can talk a lot, talk a little bit. What do you want me to say now, man?
You
I
are
want to say a whole
literally
lot.
not on my list of people. Okay. Farkon, can you talk?
It Hope nails it. Good job. Good job.
Here.
Okay, got it. Dad, can
Do you believe?
Oh, you're still going. My bad.
Yeah, Grog, can you talk?
Hello.
Hope, please, can you say something?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yep. Wait, you're right there, and you, Ella, can you talk?
Ma'am, stew.
Okay. The reason is that with the renaming, everyone lines up perfectly on Discord, but everything else is incorrect on stream. So I'm trying to figure out who number 2 and who number 3 are, because I'm not up here.
Order's still the same on Discord. I'm so confused.
Yeah, but the names aren't really the same.
Yeah, they
Oh,
changed.
you had like exact character matching or something? I thought it was just a first letter order thing.
Well, this is it. So the names in here are fake names that are appearing and whatnot. They're not true names. Anyways.
The text width is not the same.
You mean they don't really call me Ellendir in real life?
Right. Well,
I'm confused, but I'm glad you had a moment to sort it out, sir.
okay. I apologize for taking away. Please continue.
You're fine.
My immersion's just dead. We should give up now. He just ruined
No.
everything.
Mine is not dead. I'm ready for this. I've been ready for this for a long time.
Elder Sylvanas
go.
will turn his gaze back towards Ellendir and kind of motion in a rolling forward motion, very slowly, with like some creaking with one hand. Please continue. There were bandits and goats. You say, where does the story involve the Fey Wilds?
Gad will stand up and then motion to Elendil to see if he can take the stage.
You all can also talk amongst yourselves freely. I mean, it's by all means, part of your
Wrong.
up.
Wrong.
Okay, except for Grug, who no one is. Well, I guess you can't heal him. Does anyone have a potion? A potion's not magic.
Nope.
Actually, it is.
No.
It is.
Nope.
Well,
It is. It's
Well,
created
No
more
one
bad.
has any
by-
potions.
It's definitely
No one
not
has any
science.
potions. There are no
It's
potions in our
definitely
party.
magic. That's why I said we can't touch him. We literally can't do
well,
anything
the
right now.
angry, pushy, depressed dwarf goat thing is probably better that he's unconscious. So it's fine.
Grog will
Hope
grumble
will say
in a
to
plushy,
the-
like, kind of noise. Gonna sleep.
I'm trying to actually remember when did we find that? Oh.
When we encountered the drow.
No.
Yeah, well,
And we went to the
what was
portal.
drow's name?
It was the portal when we.
Was that Velkin?
discovered that- Yeah,
Yeah, Velkin. Velkin Aranis.
Yeah, Velkin and Randus, and we
Velkin,
followed Gad chasing him into the portal.
We followed him into the portal, and that's when we discovered the whole arena and
Yes.
everything. And that's when we found out, like, oh shit, these people are being turned into goats by the journal.
And when we went through the portal, where did we end up? In Elitherus's
In the
domain.
in Elitherus'
Elitherus had us fighting in the arena.
Yep. And oh yeah, make that clear.
Oh my
Make that
gosh.
clear.
Yeah, that was
So
loud.
this is all just you guys talking amongst yourselves while the
Yeah,
queens and Sylvanas patient. Okay, I'm making sure I'm keeping up with things here
I mean, I could.
as you guys sort out your details.
I would like to say because Stu wasn't there for it, she's gonna just sort of sit cutely for the queens or whatever. Just try to like.
Both seem to appreciate.
I would raise
you,
a hand.
Stu, and occasionally glance towards Veto with his finger in the goose's mouth with a look of disdain. Queen
no, don't mind
Titania
him.
is looking more and more
Displeased.
displeased with this seemingly crude behavior.
Well, it's like, so the finger's in the mouth, but I have my other other fingers around it, like keeping it as a gag.
Guys,
Oh,
is this where he loses another finger? Because I did put
Please,
that he was going to
please.
lose all his fingers in the
Please.
event, and I set the channel status to Veto gets the chop, and he has stuck his finger in a demon goose's mouth. I mean,
Yes.
Well,
And you did this to
considering
yourself,
who
man.
who
If the demon
Titania
goose gets
is,
to wake up, Grog gets to
he
wake
doesn't
up.
lose his entire hand.
that's I mean, it would be
The
the
goose
goose
was
biting
never
off his
asleep.
finger was what I was thinking, but
Conscious.
The goose failed the same check that Grog failed, and is
But he didn't
asleep
fall asleep.
and is
He
But
lost
it's also a
unconscious for the
demon.
same reasons.
no, the goose
He's
didn't
a
get a nap.
demon.
The
Yeah,
goose lost
Geg.
all of its feathers.
It lost all its feathers. Oh, wait, did
Oh,
it get a
yeah,
nat
sorry.
one? I don't think it
Yes,
did.
it got a nat
I didn't
one.
get in that one.
It did.
Oh.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
one.
Oh shit.
My bad. Okay, so it honked as it passed out, and it lost all its feathers, and he has a feather beard, but it's unconscious
Yeah.
on his head, but he has his finger in its mouth. Okay.
Yes.
All right,
the
I was
finger's
thinking
still-
my
The
bad
finger.
on
I am
missing
still
the nat one.
fingering. I am still fingering.
I was about
that
to
goose.
say,
Whoa.
if he wakes up, I'm waking up.
Jesus.
I would like to gesture towards Elendil and ask softly, "May I continue the tale for us, or would you like to continue?"
Well, he asked Elendil. I will just say.
Yeah, I
Whatever.
mean, yeah, I don't want to upset them if he addressed me.
That's fair. Put it as simple as this. Actually, yeah, you heard of what we was all just yelling, right? Okay,
Or my-
I just hear you this. Put it as simple as this. We discovered that there was bandits in the camp, and we hunted them down, finding out that there was a drow involved by the name of Vulcan.
Vulcan Uranus.
Vulcan Uranus. Yes. We ran through the portal because one of our companions jumped in, and thus we end up in
in this room?
Like, no, like what's that dude's name? Not Raccoon.
Elithris.
Elithris.
Elithris domain, and he put us into an arena. Explain that to them first.
To have us fight for his amusement.
Yes, and have him fight for his amusement.
We didn't learn about the goats being transformed until
That's
we
not
went
till later.
until the lab, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
Until,
there-
like,
there was
goat
goat men.
transformation happening at the bandit.
Yeah. Excuse
there
me?
were goat
You
men.
learned
Yeah, we
about
saw. Yeah, I remember. I know we saw that.
We
We just
saw it
we didn't
happening,
we
yeah.
weren't sure if those were were goats, as in like werewolf,
Like,
but
we didn't know
were goats, or
Was
yeah, we didn't know
goats?
the nature of that. Was
Gad,
goats,
Gad
yes.
witnessed Velkin turn Grog into a goat at the bandit camp and told you all.
Ah,
Maybe I
yes.
should leave that to Gad to
Oh,
recap.
right.
All right.
That is true.
So Elendil will turn to
Now he's just up
the Sylvanus is who's addressing Elendil, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and Sylvanus will explain that, well, you know, we, in our adventures and in our tasking, we were tasked to find these bandits who were allegedly stealing these goats, and that through our investigation, we uncovered a drow heading this group. We had one of our members actually witness this drow utilizing some magic to transform one of our companions into a goat. Battles ensued, and in our
I hold up Grog as he's
Grog's
saying this.
unconscious body.
And-
I'm holding Grog. I'm making sure he's okay.
as we pursued our foe, a portal appeared, and we were goaded to pursue him. And one of our members jumped in, and as the seven seekers, we all jumped in together. And upon reaching the other end of that portal, we heard a voice identifying themselves as Elithris, and who had pressed us all to fight each other for his amusement, putting us into some sort of puzzle arena, testing our wit, trying to see if we could figure out his game, which is more than just mutilating each other. We found ourselves working together and escaping his arena, much to his dismay, and we traveled further into. We didn't escape his domain at that point.
We made it to the maze.
Yeah,
There's,
the illusion of
there's
the arena.
chatter.
Yes, that's right.
Chatter
The
is
maze.
rising in the crowd as you relate this story. You hear whispers of people that were there, that witnessed it, that have fond memories, and there seems to be a particular fascination, or there's definitely a fandom that has developed about a centaur and a goat beating the shit out of each other.
Nice.
As those murmurs rise from the crowd, and there's like this slight moment of distraction from Elendil's relaying of events, Elithris will interrupt again. I grieve my associate Velkin, yet they dance on his corpse with accusations. A contract was broken when he was taken from me. And the Queen of Air and Darkness will immediately look as though she is just filled with rage and disdain at that line. Contracts broken, chaos sown. Why should disorder go unpunished?
Gad will nudge Elendil and like point out the contract.
Mm-hmm.
Elder
And-
Sylvanus will hold up his hand and kind
Oh, I
of,
forgot about that about
as
her.
as the crowd
Oh, shit.
falls silent again, he will do that slow rolling his hand forward motion towards Elendil. Yeah. Rena, you say you escaped some kind of a fighting event?
Elendil will nod, not to interrupt. We did.
Roll a persuasion check for me on everything you just related before the
Talk-
interruption.
You should
What?
talk about the 4 crystals first.
Not yet. Well,
There were
I
4
don't
crystals
think
in the
that
fighting
matters.
pit, I think is why Gad,
Yeah,
but I
I
need a
don't-
persuasion check from Elendil. Oh, you
Five,
did.
Yeah.
10.
Ooh. Well, you know, the murmurs of the crowd, the you know, Elithrus's interruption, the believability of your story, that definitely seems to be in question with that series of events. Though Elder Sylvanas encourages you to continue.
After we figured out the key to his puzzle, the puzzle he incorporated 4 special prisms or gems, if you will. We were placed into yet another chapter of his domain, and we were forced to wander around a maze, a hedge maze of his, trying to yet uncover more keys to a puzzle in order to escape. And we were set upon by toads and goats, and he'll gesture at the bald thing on top of Veto's behemoths, multi-headed behemoths like this, and gesture to the goats.
Do not forget
we-
about Stu. She guided us through the maze.
Talk about my thumb.
Be right
Good
back,
thought.
guys. I have to help with the front.
Talk about how Grog was turned into a goat and then turned into a plushie, so that maybe they know how to fix me.
When did you get turned into a plushie? I forget.
When he
You
when he
ate
ate
the
the mushroom.
I ate a mushroom.
You
Oh, that's
chose
right.
that. They're not
That's-
gonna feel
Chose that
sorry
cat,
about
bro.
that.
Yeah.
Also,
Sorry,
I
guys.
just
was
wanted
trying get in the
to-
front door with both kids. Where were we?
We were at the maze. We were at the list of enemies we fought, and Elendil will point to Stu and say, "Had it not been for our companion here, Stu, we would probably would still be lost in that
she'll
maze."
hop around excitedly.
Once we finished
Now Stu can start
uncovering the
validating our
solution
story.
to this maze, at this point in time, was that when we found ourselves free and in that crater when we wandered the wilderness.
As you begin
Guys?
to question your own story, Sylvanas will again motion past you, this time his eyes clearly falling on Gad.
Oh,
Is this
wow.
also how you recall events, half-elf?
Gad will stand, nod, and do a slight bow, and say, "There are a few details that my friend here left out, though I don't think he did it intentionally. He has a poor memory. The 4 crystals that he spoke of were each of a different color, and the way we had to complete this puzzle was by taking actions in a certain turn. One of them being that we had to help one another. One of them being we had to attack but not hit. We had to have malintentions to another person. Another one being that we had to sit out the fight completely. And guys, what was the 4th one? I forgot what the 4th one was.
Do nothing.
Oh, I don't have my notebook with me anymore.
No, I did that one. Anywho.
It hurt, not hurt, no
Support,
damage,
and-
Hit hurt.
and benefit,
not
wasn't
Did
it?
you have to heal someone?
Oh, and
Heal someone and
or
don't do
support.
anything.
Yeah, and
Oh,
the
thank you.
4th one was that we had to support another person by essentially not attack, not, was it like healing? Yeah, was it healing? I'll like turn around and I'm like, I'm also forgetting.
So one was
It was a long
one was
time ago.
one was damaging. One was when we missed.
Yeah, one was damaging, one was missed, one was support, and the other
Acidic.
one was doing
Oh.
nothing.
Okay.
Yellow miss. Yellow was missing. Red was damaged. Blue was buffing, or green was doing nothing.
Yes.
And
Blue-
that one was
blue
specifically
was
in
aiding.
the arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was specifically in the arena. And then when we came out, once we beat the arena, which made Elithris pretty mad, the illusion of the arena dissolved, which left us within the maze. And so we had to find our way out. And it was roughly the same kind of puzzle. There were 4 crystals again that we had to find that were sitting under these large geese. And we would have to take these crystals and wander across the maze and place them in certain gemstone slots. And if we didn't do it in the right order, the same thing would happen, where essentially all the crystals would reset. And that was the same for the arena. If we didn't follow the right directions, then our work was completely reset and we would have to try again. And through trial and error, we were able to figure out the pathway, both in the maze and in the arena, to save ourselves and escape the clutches of Elithris.
Do a whisper.
The-
Don't forget about the golden eggs.
There were also, to prove more to my story about these geese in the maze, they each had a golden egg sitting under them if the crystal was not there. And Gad will pull off his knapsack and pull out one of the golden eggs as proof to what he is talking about. And he'll then put it back in his backpack and put his backpack back on. Once we got to the maze as well, our friend Stu spawned / came out of the fountain in the center, and she was able. She spawned into existence.
Sylvanas
Is that
will
not
hold up a hand. For Gad, please. You did a pretty good recollection of detail up until the end there, contributing to the party. Just as I allowed Hope to have advantage, I will allow you to negate your disadvantage. Roll a persuasion check, sir.
Go, let's go.
Wow, I really have a shit persuasion. Goddamn. Let's go, 19.
Nice.
All right.
There we
3-1
go.
for anybody keeping score. 3 passes, 1 fail. Elder
Yes.
Sylvanas will motion towards the man missing a finger or two with another
no.
finger in an unconscious bald
Oh,
goose's
no.
beak on his head.
Oh,
Is this how you also recall events lost in a hedge maze and a bunny spawning from a fountain?
Vedo's going
Just
to.
some bunny.
Well, hold on. Vedo's going to look at the tree talking to him, kind of being with a little bit of an offended thing. Like it's a face like that, popping his finger out of the goose's mouth with a nice whole coming out of it. Like first, this bunny is my best friend, Stu.
no.
It is not
Oh, no.
just some random bunny. She is my best friend. But I don't really remember a whole lot. We ran through a maze for a while, and we had some big gooses that we had to deal with. They were really loud. They honked at us badly. They hurt Stu, so we had to remove them. Then Veda's going to stop for a moment and rub his feather beard as thinking. Then he's like, then we were transported away from that maze into a hole in the ground where we wandered around and found some sing-song guy with some dragons. He told us to go to another place called a workshop or something that he said.
The Elder Sylvanas will hold up his hand. Obviously, he's already had enough of this version of the story relaying. Though, from the murmurs rippling through the crowd, you can tell that many of the Fey beings almost feel validated, as though Vedo's recollection of events accounts for all of their superiority complex stereotypes about mortals from the material plane.
So afraid.
Hey, we're not all
Need-
retarded, just that guy.
Vedo, I need a performance check, sir.
How come I have to be a performance instead of a persuasion? What the hell?
Aha.
You intentionally
Not
do this.
information you're persuading him
I'm not
over.
even looking at your character sheet. I'm just kind of go based on the like. It's
Yeah,
it's
this is based on
partially-
vibes.
It's partially based on like I just did like 2 persuasions, so it's about performance time, but it's also the vibe of the
Yeah.
roleplay. How are you recollecting the story? Does it feel like you're performing or just
Sure,
relating
whatever.
events?
I'm good at fucking 21.
Sure,
You
You got a
cheater.
21. You got
Fucking
nothing
cheater.
4 to 1.
You're a
4 succeeds,
high.
1 fail. Why are you upset?
Because I
Um,
could have gotten a 28 with a perfect persuasion.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Sylvanas will turn his attention back across the group to Hope. You seem to have had a very good recollection. What is this about the rabbit and the fountain?
Veto's going to have his jaw's going to drop without being called a rabbit.
They speak. Everyone speaks the truth. As far as I know, yes. It has helped us. It helped us travel through the maze itself, lending us its ear and guiding us through the paths that we would not have been able to understand. This was a blessing of Larcoon's, who sent her to us to guide us through all this.
Hear a scoffing sound from Elithris down to your right, below the witness box. Hope, roll me a persuasion check. How did you all forget about the hag and Veto cutting off his thumb to make a deal with the hag and the hag giving a
I
circlet?
honestly-
Oh,
Yeah,
you
I
forgot.
was
You
wondering.
remembered.
I was like, how the fuck did you
Guys,
get two?
I didn't forget about
Oh.
that.
Nobody
I
touched on
kept-
it. You all kept advancing
I didn't
past
touch on
it.
it
That's
because
fine.
I didn't touch on that part because it
That's
was
an
more
old
of.
list. That's from my home goods days. Well, I'm
I
not
didn't
muted.
touch on that.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
anything,
was-
Beto should have brought that up. I mean,
I was
Yeah,
that's,
Veto-
that's one of the reasons I called on Veto was I thought he would bring it up because he lost the
Yeah.
finger.
What?
I even tried to prime it by saying, missing a finger with another finger in the goose's mouth. Whatever.
Right.
You specifically asked a
Um,
different question, therefore, why would I circle
Look,
back?
It's fine. It's fine. Just as long as we're having a bit
Yeah,
of
but
a,
no, I knew.
Veto doesn't also
I'm not-
connect. Veto doesn't connect the entire thing of his thumb and Stu appearing. Those are coincidences.
We're just having this recap.
Didn't she
aspect of the event,
specifically-
So I wanted to make sure
Well,
everyone
I
remembered
wasn't
that
aware we were doing a
incident.
recap, and I thought we were just looking for items relative to Larcoon and Elithris. Not, did you stop and smell any
You can't be
roses on the way?
surprised that the old tree man wants to hear the tale. That one is going to be a fail.
Okay, fine.
So it is 4-2. 4-2.
I liked it.
The crowd is a bit skeptical about this Bunny Maze business. And Sylvanas will turn his gaze back to Elendil, giving another nod of his head. Please continue.
Oh, me?
Elendil.
I mean, I don't fucking know. I mean, but we were at the fucking. We already brought up the workshop.
No.
No, someone brought up the workshop already.
No,
Yeah, but-
Veto got to meeting Jeff.
glanced over it.
That's
And then I-
where,
I said workshop.
Sylvanas-
But
Oh, you
even
did.
then,
you said
before
workshop,
then,
but you got cut off. That was like right when he held up his hand. So the workshop was
To
not
be honest,
explained at all.
how
was
much
getting a little
detail
rambling.
does Mr. DM over there want? Because there's a lot more detail here in this maze by itself that we still have not went over. Like
It's all about what you all feel is relevant to the tale in terms of convincing the court. I will
Veto's
say
not-
that Veto, having removed a finger from the goose's mouth, even though his tail was a little rambling, Queen Titania looks less displeased.
All right. So I
Her,
guess
fear-
the next
her
part
fury is calming.
So the next part is talking about Jeffers
Why we
and
went.
the workshop.
Put
and
the
why
finger
we were
back in.
going to the workshop to begin with, what evidence we got from the workshop.
Right.
Because we were already trying to search for evidence that proved Larcoon not guilty.
Right.
Yeah, we was told to go.
But I
to
forget why was it that Jeffus told us to go to the workshop? I remember
Because
the
he
the
needed-
dragons. No, but
The dragons knew that there was stuff in the workshop that could get Jeffus teleported to the mortal realm again, and so that's why
Right.
he wanted to go
That's
there.
right.
Yep,
Okay.
and we went there because he just traveled there with us, and that's when we did battle with Valkon at Larcoon's workshop, actually.
okay. So Elendir will stand up. We'll continue to tell the regale the tale of once we figured out the crystalline puzzle with the maze, and we began wandering the wilderness. We came across a gnome who had fairy dragon companions who were assisting him in trying to find his own way back to his world or another. And during our time with him, we were informed of a workshop in the area. It was some mutual agreement for us to be able to find a way for him to get back to where he wanted to go, and we wanted to find evidences against who had just imprisoned us and made sport of us. So after some travel, we came upon a structure, a workshop as it is, and I had actually scouted it out and witnessed the beginning of some sort of, I would like to call it a ritual in our world, but it was made to look so simple. Just casting magic on these people who looked to be part of my world and turn into goats and sent into these portals where I could only assume were paths back to where we had come from. We paused to take action right away as we saw one of our own, the one who originally formed the pact with Larcoon. In some sort of trance or captivity of the Drow, Velkin. We came into the workshop and we did battle, and in the end, the Drow was actually bested by none other than our companion who had been captured and lost within the maze, and his sacrifice actually destroyed the servants of Elithris. And
Chris interrupts Elendil. How convenient. Everyone who could contradict them is dead or transformed. The crowd begins to murmur loudly. Please roll a performance check, Elendil. Larcoon, holds his hands up, kind of motioning in a calming, like, downward motion to the crowd. Patience, patience. Let them tell. How deep goes this poisoned well?
well, Elendil will pull out from his backpack.
I would like to
stack
give
of
my heroic inspiration to Mr. Guy over there, so can we roll that check?
May I
We
reroll?
have a house rule that does not allow heroic inspiration giving,
Well,
but
you
Elendil does have his
Which
own
is
heroic
gay.
inspiration.
I will use my own then, and it'll be a 4. Damn it.
Okay.
Damn.
I didn't think that was. I didn't know that was a house rule. But fair
It
enough.
was a long time ago. 4-3.
He rolled a 43.
All right. You want to do anything with that number or no?
No, I'm keeping. I have tabs. I'm keeping tabs. There were
What do
some
we have?
reactions.
4-3, as in we have 4 pass, 3 fail.
Larcoon urged
can-
the crowd to. What's up, Stu?
Do we remember what was in the big tub thing that Nimno broke?
It was a coldal or cold.
It's a portal.
I can't
It
fucking
was
say
a
it.
celestial
Yeah, thank
being.
you.
Waddle.
Weird word.
Quaddle.
Yeah, like
And then-
Quetzalcoatl.
Wasn't there
It's a
gems
portal.
attached to that thing
Mhm.
that the gnome wanted?
There was
Yeah, they
gems
were
within
powering
the
the-
workshop.
Mm,
No. They
Yeah, it was
were
powering the
essentially
workshop.
pulling the power from the Quaddle to power the portals in which the people were coming through. That Velkin was turning into goats.
Which we all discovered after the sacrifice.
As you're talking
Sorry.
amongst
Yes.
yourselves, Sylvanas will motion to Farkon. Centaur, you, distant Fae, have remained quiet. What do you recollect about this business in the workshop? Farkon,
Yes, I'm here. My microphone's acting up on me. I'm sorry.
you're fine.
I can remember. That's where we saw what's his face,
Velkin Aranos.
Velkin with our friend Nimno. They were turning. I think they were still working on turning people into goats. There's a bunch of portals that were randomly open to different parts of the realm, and maybe some other realms that people were getting thrown through. We saw Tabaxi get thrown through. At least I did. And then we got into a fight with the guy, and it was just a crazy shit show. And Nimnel sacrificed himself, and to this weird creature, I can't remember the name of the creature. And then
A Quaddle.
yeah, the Quaddle, and then didn't the Quaddle eat him? Or
Yep.
like help? Yeah.
Yes.
It ate the drow.
Yeah, it ate.
No. It ate Nimnil and squeezed the drow until the drow
It's,
died.
it stole my kill on the drow.
Yeah. So yeah, the Quaddle killed the guy, and then
Sylvanas
Blew
will
off.
seem to nod ever so slightly and almost make a note to the queens in the crowd. Each confirms the tale. Each names Vulcan, and he motions towards Elitherus. Elitherus is named Vulcan, his associate. And then he'll motion back towards Elendil. Farkon, give me a persuasion check. To Elendil, please.
Please don't fail. Please don't fail. Please don't fail. Please don't fail.
Elendil, please continue.
During our investigation, we
Nice,
produced.
Farkon!
Five.
Sorry.
5-3.
+1. God damn it.
All right, sorry,
Hell
Elendil.
yeah.
Please continue. Please continue.
And Elendil, as he was already reaching in his backpack, he produced his stack of papers, and he says, after our battle and our friend had sacrificed himself, we were able to search about and produce some evidences to the deeds of Velkin and Elitherus. One of these documents was designed to be a forgery,
Classified contract.
and it was eventually after some more investigation into this, it bound itself to our companion here in the form of this balded creature on top of his head, and he'll point over to Veto's Bruce Willis thing.
Veto's got like a wrist thing now, doesn't he?
Yes. And so and it formulated into this this very bracelet that my friend has been bound to wear against his will.
Meadows gonna look at
This is the
Elendil
first piece of-
completely
So,
completely
Hold on.
in a shock and not aware of any of this until just now.
Well,
be very careful.
tricked
when you say
tricked
that.
into agreeing to something in order to wear this bracelet, I'm guessing.
There we go. 'Cause he willingly accepted.
But I have the rest of these documents here outlining the involvement of Velkin and Olithris.
Or the contract you speak of, that you have just detailed to the crowd, because you found the contract and have mentioned it, you may roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Yay.
What were the other items, OOC? It was the
A ledger.
and
pub-
what was the other one?
Nice.
The puzzle box
Was it a map?
that ate my finger.
No, it's a journal.
Wasn't there a map?
Journal.
the journal.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a journal.
No, it was
I have a
I don't
journal.
know about
A
a map.
ledger and the contract.
You don't have the journal. You gave it to me when we were entering in against the three
Why is
three
it you
people,
take
and
everything
I
from
showed
me?
the evidence to them.
Say
You-
24 on
you said you
Elendir's-
gave it
Gotta
all
put
to
your
me.
finger where it don't belong.
That is a 24 in Elendir's persuasion, so the total for the trial right now is six passes, 3 fails. Sylvanas will kind of nod. The crowd seems to take note. The goose seems to be a damning piece of evidence you have mentioned to all of them, and Sylvanas will continue. What is this other evidence you speak of?
He'll produce in one hand. He'll say, so we have here the journal outlining the actions of
I'm pretty sure
Velkin.
it's Larkoon's journal.
Lied to.
Oh,
It
Larkoon's
is-
journal. I don't fucking know what I have anymore.
It is in this, the journal for Larkoon outlines how that fucking Faye dude tricked him, and
You all discussing this amongst yourselves as Elendir produces this journal. Sylvanas will say, do any of you have anything to add in regard to the journal?
I do.
He'll motion towards Hope.
Step forward. The journal is a recount of Larkoon's event of what has been going on with Elithris, and how Elithris
Well, I need to stop drinking because I don't remember any of this.
properly. I would say Elithris began to take over and trick Larkoon. And the journal will explain more about what's going on with that.
Larkoon will chime in with agreement. See, the dates don't lie. Before my fall, before the cry. My own hand wrote these words of warning while he plotted my suborning. Hope you may roll persuasion about the journal with advantage because you all have the piece of evidence of which you speak.
Yes, we do.
Go.
You said with advantage, eh?
Yes, please.
Let's see here. See persuasion ADV. Let's see what we get here.
Jeez.
1 second.
You.
I would re-roll that. So
My power just went out. 1 second, I'm switching to Bluetooth.
Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
That sucks.
Well, it's a good thing you're passed out.
Mhm.
Come on, Hope.
come on, persuasion.
Kevin, you paid the Pico bill this time, right?
Yeah,
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ! I
oh.
guess I'm not. It's the whole-
He really had a bad go at that. The journal, though, in my opinion, the journal was always the weakest piece of evidence because it was somewhat anecdotal, since it was
Yeah.
written by Larkoon himself. So it's kind of fitting
Oh,
that
we got it
3
so far.
rolls failed on it. Only one of those counts though,
I
so
don't
it's
like
It's 6-4.
Yes, it's back.
Let's see. Sylvanas will again motion to Elendil. Was there more, or is the journal and contract all of it?
We have a ledger.
Just matter of fact, you got a ledger. I don't know what the fuck it is, but like,
A ledger, you say?
I have no idea what's in it.
Ledger's the proof of the inside the ledger was. Give me a second. Let me think.
This is. I was more focused on Gad when we found all this shit.
Yeah, that's
No,
true.
the
He had
problem
his
is
own
the fucking
shit going
DM
on.
over here want us to remember shit that happened fucking months ago. So give me a moment. Let me think.
Oh lord.
let him meditate, guys. Let him meditate.
I think I'm definitely gonna start taking more notes, though. After this session.
Okay.
I had notes. I'm in a different.
I think that the ledger was the accounting of the how the goats came about and wait.
A ledger is not a journal.
Hold on. Because Lacoon was the one that was accused for turning goats into man and shit, right? Like this was the thing that they would claim that he was doing and everything, but it wasn't him. It was
Elithris.
Elithris. So I'm guessing the ledger, if I remember right, the ledger shows that he was not the one that was it was him that was doing it, but it was a false ledger. It's like a false ledger type thing. This frustrates me. It was
I
think
just remember.
this is one that was like a false ledger or some shit like that.
Is this the one where all the initials changed?
Yeah.
This document.
That,
The false one was the contract that made the goose. The ledger accounted for. It was like a full-on accounting of people being brought from different cities and turned into goats. And not only was there Velkin signature like signing off on different things, but there was like a seal or a
Yeah, I remember this.
like badge that marked Elithris.
Wait,
It was
what's-
like a crown of thorns or something. I don't
Yeah.
remember exactly
Yeah.
what the thing was.
okay.
It's easily the most damning piece of evidence.
Thank you, DM, for telling us that.
You know, I mean, you have it with you. You could look at it right now, theoretically. So I feel like it's okay for me to share it, like what it is, given that Elendil's like holding it and looking at it as he
Fair
mentions it to the court, right?
I've got a ledger.
yeah. So you know, he would know what it.
Guess
What it,
what
I don't.
decided.
Yeah.
I remember being told what it was when we had it. I just like fucking 2 years ago. It feels like.
He's not
I know,
Venom. It's not
right?
like he wouldn't know what's in his own hands.
Fair
There's
enough.
nothing in my hand right now. I took my finger out of the goose.
You did. That's a good boy.
I mean,
It might go back in. Might go in
So
one of
did
you.
Was there more you were conveying in regard to that, Elendil, or?
I don't think so. Just, I mean, are we? Besides the fact, I mean, I'm producing evidence. Do I need to tell them what the evidence is? I mean, do they not want to see the
Generally, that's a
physical?
part of producing evidence at a trial is explaining.
I
what the
get that.
evidence
Yeah.
Then explain it.
Oh,
What is
fuck
inside
it.
of it? The DM just told you.
is.
You know what's
I
inside
don't
of
know.
it. Just read
It's
exactly what I told you.
a bunch of bullshit about the
God damn it!
we got. I mean, we have here all of Elithris's
Give it to
not
him.
transit.
Just give it
not-
to him.
Not I can't. I'm up in a fucking tree cage.
Oh. offer to give it to him.
This here has all the actions that Elithris was doing, all the people that he was taking, his plans, where they were going.
goats.
Well, yeah, that's what I already told him. He was turning them into goats.
And there's Valken seal on it.
Yes.
And-
Oh, okay.
Velka's ledger with Elithris' seal.
Welcome to the seal. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what else you want me to tell him. This is it.
You may
This
roll
is-
persuasion with advantage for having the piece of evidence of which you speak.
Let's see.
Mine.
Fucking Ellen
Nice!
like,
Oh my
Can I
gosh!
just die? Can I just die, please? Can someone kill me?
I can. It's within my ability to kill you.
That's a natural, baby.
Tell me,
Here it
does
is.
that conclude your findings? Entail? Do any of you have anything to add?
Elithris gives bad vibes. He feels evil.
I believe my companion is trying to say is that there was a wrongdoing placed upon our friend here, Laku, and we just wish to bring the truth to the courts.
And fix Grog. And fix Grog.
No, Grog needs to die.
No,
No,
Grog
no
got
one-
turned into a goat. Someone fix Grog. Come on.
He's unconscious and no one
holding you,
can
I
hear
don't know
his
what
inner
to do.
dialogue saying this.
Y'all are bitches.
Very
All right,
well. Sylvanas will say, "What's up, Get?"
I'll step forward and say, and if it is found that Elithris is guilty, all I ask of the court is that our friend here, and I'll point to the unconscious goat, is returned to his original form of a dwarf. And we haven't been able to commune with him ever since that unfateful night where he was transformed by...
Sylvanas will hold up his
Malcolm.
hand. The queens look aghast at a mortal making a request in this setting. You may roll a performance check, but you have disadvantage.
Oh God.
Good luck. I tried.
that.
I tried.
Yeah,
motherfucker.
the problem is it's
Not the time or place is what Kurt's trying to get at. But yeah, performance check disadvantage.
no.
See,
My bad.
if I didn't do this in the game,
Grog would have
you
never shut
give
up
me
about
shit
it. I
for this
understand.
for
I
weeks,
understand.
so-
Good
I
job,
know.
Grog. Good job. It's
At
all
OC
Grog's
level,
fault.
you felt like you had to. Just kind of almost waving a hand dismissively, but the action is so slow, so creaky, that it's hard to even discern. Sylvanas will
What am I rolling?
glance. Performance at disadvantage. Sylvanas will glance between the queens. Each will seem to
Imagine.
give him the
Fucking
most.
Nat one.
Oh.
Make him worse. Make him worse, Borst. Fucking curse him in hell.
Oh my
Each will
God.
seem to give him the slightest of. I mean, you can't say you didn't try for him. Each will seem to give Sylvanas the slightest of nods. And Sylvanas will slowly, almost just painfully, there's almost like a cracking of branches. He stands on his throne. Truth has been revealed. Elithris, you sought to water the roots of war with innocent blood. You transformed the Fey ties of both courts into beasts, violated the ancient neutrality, and attempted to frame another for your ambitions. Titania, you wished to blur the boundaries. Now you shall have none. The Queen of Air and Darkness, you sought power through transformation. Transform you shall. And they all seem to motion. The ground around Elithris glows. The ley line nexus below you all pulses, and in a burst of power, Elithris falls to the ground, and his body contorts and bends, and fur begins to sprout from it as he screams, and before your eyes, the satyr is transformed into a goat. Larcoon on the other side, a fool's punishment for a foolish plot. You'll serve as a jester in rotating courts. And as Sylvanas takes his seat again, yes, the fool shall be the Gesture's pet. And Larkoon steps over and ties a lead around Goat Elithrus's neck, just beaming with delight at his having been proven innocent. The crowd murmurs, some begin to leave. The Queen of Air and Darkness lets out a laugh, and just in the blink of an eye, before any of you realize what has happened, all three, the Queen of Air and Darkness, Titania, and Sylvanas, are gone. Their thrones begin to dissipate and recede. The chatter of the crowd around you grows louder. The living platform that you stand upon slowly lowers back to the ground, leaning down to pet his goat's head. Larkoon turns to all of you, again, just beaming with delight. One of you might want to help your friend. Motioning towards Grog, who's still unconscious.
I believe that it was stated that we're not allowed to use magic until.
Well, now the court has been adjourned.
Larkoon will nod towards Gad.
Oh. Should I show
Do I have lay on hands? Hang on, I'm not at my computer.
You're not a paladin, are you? Are you a paladin?
No, I have something like that where I can fucking. Yeah, I'll use healing word, and I'll speak life into the stuffed animal.
I don't think he's dead. I just think he should be just shaken awake.
Well, is he magically unconscious or just unconscious?
He was incapacitated, but not. He wasn't dead. But he was.
Yeah. So
I would
incapacitated
just slap
means healing,
him.
right?
No, just slap him.
All right, I lay hands on this motherfucker.
All right, so we're gonna say Grog is brought back to consciousness. Welcome back, Grog.
Squeak. Squeak, 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 squeak.
He's squeaking. Larkoon will stand from petting his new goat, and he says, "Come, my friends, along the trod. It'll be faster than your last trip." He's just broken away from his convention of rhyming. He's joyful. He's unrehearsed. He waves a hand. A portal opens, and he's like, "Home awaits," and he steps through it.
I will step through it. Yeah.
Leroy Jenkins.
It's right behind.
Grog reluctantly follows. Goes through.
Going to assume that Farkon and
depressed,
Veto
even though he's a plushie and it probably just looks cute as fuck.
Party is following. He is so cute. He's so cute. You all find yourselves in a familiar location. I'm not going to use character icons because there's no need, but you all find yourselves in a familiar location. It's Larkoon's workshop. Things are less scattered, less messy than previously. There's no signs of ritual magic currently occurring. As everyone, exits the side of the portal, having a quick jaunt through a trod, led by an Archfey himself. From point to point, this was a fast, painless, instantaneous to you trip. You all emerge back in Larkoon's workshop. He does a twirl, and he says, "My eggs! You have my eggs!"
I do. What exactly do they do? And then I'll start taking them out of my bag.
A debt is owed. Rewards must be paid. Home you must go.
Grog will squeak. Grog will squeak and continuously squeak at Farkon until he says something directly to Grog.
You're petting
Right.
his new Elithroscope.
Down.
Larkoon will turn his attention to Grog and say, "Yes, yes, you can have pets too," and bend down and pet the plushy goat on the head.
I think he wants to be turned back
Grog
into a dwarf.
Grog will like jump back and like bite the air, and be like, "Get off of me! Squeak, squeak!"
A feisty little fucker, and he'll pull his hand back. The eggs.
Yeah, and we'll hand 2 at first over to Larkoon, and then after Larkoon has 2, he'll hand over the 3rd.
They're not a 4th.
Your what's it called? Your servant Nimnil was to blame for the 4th.
Here are
Kind
the
of
pieces
distant
of
size. Oh, the shells. Okay.
Yeah.
And he will take the shells and he will examine the broken egg shells with an exaggerated sense of dismay. He is clearly a light with manic inspiration behind his eyes, rehearsing something in his own head before he speaks to you all again. He reaches out and suddenly snatches the jade pickle from Gad.
Gad has a look of sheer surprise.
Who's standing closest to Veto right now?
Because that somehow, he's more surprised on how he grabbed that, because that was inside of his pants. So, like, he's like,
in a deft motion that only an Archfey could do. I remind you, he's a Haragon, so he's a large, radiant bunny. But he's like all colors. He's all Archfeyed out. But this large Archfey radiant, bunny who we've called Fruity in the past, he shoved his hand down your pants before you knew what was happening and pulled the pickle out.
you just grabbed both of my pickles.
Who is standing closest to Veto?
Who's standing closest to Veto? How are we arranged? Should I pull your characters in here and given you control? Is that
That
part
depends.
of
Do you still have the goose?
I'll be
Definitely
Hope
has
not
the
be next
goose.
to you.
Not me.
Yeah, we'll be next to you. Hope would not want to stand close to you whatsoever.
In fact, I'll be next to Larkoon.
I just need someone to be close to me, damn it.
I'm just
Nope.
going to DM you this first, but
DM away.
Oh my god, we actually going to end session on time today, guys. Holy fuck.
My God.
Well, everybody else, you know what to do.
I need. There's one of you that is standing close to me. Just someone be the person.
I
Nobody
am
wants
standing
to
probably
be it.
next or behind Elendil. Yeah.
Gad leans forward and whispers to Larkoon.
One of you needs to be next.
What?
Someone who's closest to me. Damn it!
He just really needs some love and support right now.
I just need
guys.
one person next to me. I have.
Why?
Gad nods and steps back.
This. I haven't asked anyone to be next to me. I'm just who is closest to me.
I will be
I
close to
guess
you.
I'd do it.
Okay.
What's
Folks
up?
over here standing
Veto-
next to Veto.
What,
Veto, you have control
Veto-
of your mini.
Veto's just gonna nudge Hope and point at Larkoon and say, "Is this the one we like?" But he's gonna try and whisper it, but not be quiet. But he's not quiet enough so everyone absolutely hears Veto asking about.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you.
Yes.
God damn.
Yes, he is the one that we like.
Oh, okay.
Ever.
Because Veto's just looking at all these fairy tale creatures and he wants to pet all of them. And he's been
Oh no.
He's been
Evo?
He's been really constraining himself because of because Goose Will has calmed down and it was quiet, so he didn't really want to get him excited and whatnot. But there's a big glowing bunny, and he wants to pet the big glowing.
I dare you. I dare you to pet the bunny. Hold on. I dare you to pet the bunny. Hope will say to Evo.
Hearing this, Gad will turn around and give a glare of intimidation to Beto to make him not touch the bunny.
You gonna give in, or are you going to resist Gad's?
I rolled
Gad's
a 7,
glare
so
of
you're not
intimidation?
intimidated.
So wait, hold on. What do I roll against him for that intimidation?
No, you just.
It's a save of whatever the skill stat is for the intimidation check, which
charisma.
I have
his wisdom. Or no, sorry, I'm retarded.
On your stat sheet, it should show. I have somebody's sheet.
It's charisma.
Here. Yeah, intimidation's charisma, so it's a charisma save.
So unless you have a negative 5 to charisma.
I got an 11 on it. What?
You are not intimidated by
okay.
Gadster. I think checks are handled slightly differently in the contested whatevers, but we'll do that for now. It's
Vetta's going to get a gigantic smile and think of the best way to approach this big old glowing bunny.
Just walk up to it.
This conversation is happening because, Larcoon did reach into Gad's pants and grab that pickle. He will begin into what he was clearly rehearsing before, in that moment of manic inspiration. Broken shell and pickle green. Best disaster that I've seen. When one door closes, make a boat. Or better yet, what swims and floats. He rushes to his workbench, frantically combing the eggshell fragments with the jade pickle. Gad, you're attuned to the artifact, and you feel it pulsing and changing and growing warm. The attunement, like a warmth, overtakes your soul. Tools appear from nowhere as Larcoon works in a blur of motion. Transport home you need indeed, but why just walk when you can feed? Through earth and sea and sky so blue, a crustacean waits for you. He shoves the transformed pickle back into Gad's hand, not his pants. It's heavier now, Gad, and it seems to be thrumming with this new sense of barely contained energy. Larcoon will motion the party to follow him as he moves over here in the workshop towards where this large telescope peers out the window.
Grog is following him around.
I assume everyone heads that way.
Where's he at specifically?
He's standing here. He will push the telescope out of the way to the side, kind of back from the window. So now there's a large opening here, right? And he will turn to Gad. Out the window. Throw it far. Your vessel waits, bizarre by far, to carry you to any land.
Fido has grabbing
Without
hands
hesitation,
going on.
Gad fucking full-on baseballs it.
There's a massive crack and a sound of mechanical.
Hold on, I want you to wait. Shouldn't he roll to see how good of a throw he did?
Shut the fuck up, Elendir.
I didn't say shit.
There's a
Plot
massive
armor.
crack and mechanical whirring. A giant mechanical lobster
Holy shit,
ship
look how big that fucking
assembles
thing is.
itself as the pickle flies into the distance. Brass and copper
What
plates,
the-
crystal portholes for eyes, articulated legs that seem like they could walk or paddle through water. Internal chambers seem to beckon and await. Larcoon beams proudly. Why a lobster? Why indeed? Sometimes nonsense is what you need. Krusty seems a fitting name for your journey home again. And
Grog
he just
will
is
sit on
grinning.
my ass, look at him, and try to give Goo Goo eyes, trying to plead with Larcoon.
Oh my god.
Larcoon will
Silently.
meet Grog's gaze. And look down on the plushy goat with a knowing grin, producing one of the 3 eggs that has been handed to him. This one seems to shift and shimmer as if it contains multiple realities. Grog the goat, once dwarf so stout, your pipe lies scattered all about. Through planes and realms the pieces fell. This egg can weave that finding spell. Through cotton stuffed and button-eyed, a piper's heart beats true inside. Watch close now as shell breaks free and summons what was meant to be. He cracks the egg above Grog's plush head. Golden motes of light scatter in all directions, disappearing through tiny tears of reality. Moments later, they return like shooting stars, each carrying a piece of the pipe. They swirl around Grog before settling into his stuffed hooves. The complete pipe reformed at last. Shape may change from flesh to thread, but music lives in heart, not head. Play your tune, O goat of cloth. Perhaps it holds more power than both. The pipe is completely restored in your hands, though it feels different.
It's
Something
a
about
plushy
it.
pipe.
Something about its reassembly through Fey magic. There's an inclination in your mind that it has changed.
Did you say play it? Did you say play his pipe?
Yep. Play this pipe.
Interesting. Interesting choice of words.
I go to use the
I've
pipe.
not written the item yet. I will write the item. As you pluck that pipe in your mouth, a sense of longing and loss that has been racking you for years, that turned you to the depths of alcoholism, that led to all this misfortune, all of it fades away. And there is even a sense that you can somehow, through all this fey fuckery, speak again.
Oh, that sucks.
God help your party.
God damn it.
Hello!
He says,
Dad jumps and is like, what the fuck?
No.
Grog will also jump back, completely
Assassin's Creed
surprised
speak
at
attack.
my ability to talk.
He's still a
Is he still a goat?
plushie, right? He's still plushie.
he is still a plushy goat. Yeah, he's
Oh,
still a
thank
plushy goat.
I have
I
that
have no idea how I'm gonna be a barbarian plushie.
He
It's
wasn't
okay.
transformed
But,
at all. He just has his pipe again and can talk. You know?
I have glue, so I can
What the
solve this
fuck?
problem.
Yes. Yes.
You might not. That belongs to Larkoon. I mean, go ahead and pull it out. What am I saying?
I'm not pulling it out.
Larkoon will then turn towards Stu and kneel before the small bunny, reaching out to gently tap the circlet upon her head. His voice carries both whimsy and weight. Little Stu, with thoughts now bright, cruel to give, then steal such light. Wisdom gained should not be lost, but staying wise may bear a cost. Choose your shape as you've chosen thought. Remain as pet or be more wrought. Join these heroes if you will. Mind and form yours to fill. He seems to look at you, waiting as he holds out an egg.
Oh, Stu will kind of get the vibe, and she'll grin, and then she'll close her eyes and think of a figure that she would like to be.
Seeing Stu's confirmation, Larkoon will then continue. Then hop no more on 4 small feet. Let transformation be complete. He cracks the egg over her head. Rainbow light swirls, and where once sat a bunny, now stands a Haragon woman. Fur the same brown as before, or was it white? Whatever it was before.
White.
The circlet gleaming on her head, but now sized for her new form. Guide you were and guide you'll be through mortal lands and memory. The circlet's yours, its power true, for wisdom earned belongs to you. And you have a sense. You have a sense that the circlet upon your head offers you a contract, a pact. If you
Don't
will.
read it, just sign.
Yep, she
What
accepts
happened to the goose?
wholeheartedly.
Stu is a warlock of the Archfey Larkoon.
Is she transformed right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a full-on bunny lady now. She's a Haragon woman.
Beto is going to yeet Bruce or Goose Willis off his head just in random direction and run over to Stu and give her a big ol' hug.
How far? How far does he eat Goose
It-
Willis?
I will. Do you want me to roll for a strength check
Yeah.
for a?
Yep.
Actually, can he
I do.
throw it off his
Hold on. Hold on.
He
Wait.
can throw it up
No.
his head. But
Hold on. Wait.
Five.
I'm burning. I use a heroic inspiration. I'm re-rolling. There, 22.
Oh,
22, damn.
Oh my god.
That goose goes flying. What is the distance?
Don't know.
Hang on, I need to look at your inventory.
Should I have done an athletics check instead of a strength check?
The goose goes flying across the workshop. I mean, like, all the way across the workshop. But as soon as it reaches, like a 15-foot delimiter away, which isn't that far. It was clearly going further. But as soon as it hits that, it just seems to teleport right back to Veto.
How about, can it work off of portal technology and it just keeps, flying the full distance and it just keeps popping back?
It's not right. I mean, sure, a couple times it still has that momentum, and there's a little bit of like spazzy back and forth, and then once the momentum dies down, it's not on your head. It's still unconscious. It just flops on the ground next to you.
I don't care. I'm hugging Stu.
She'll sort of like at Veto's sudden hug, but she'll look over his shoulder at Larcoon and be like, "Thank you."
I have now invented a new fun game. A new fun game with that goose.
Larcoon dips his head.
You can turn him into a yo-yo.
Then, holding the last golden egg, he turns to approach Hope with an uncharacteristic solemnity about him. For Hope, who wouldn't let hope die, though heaven's child chose darker sky, fiend touched to save the angel born, such bitter poetry to mourn. One tiefling through, one chance alone, to call a fallen soul back home. Crack the shell when courage swells, a heartbeat's door between the hells. Say farewell before you break it. This choice once more, you cannot fake it. Avernus waits, with burning ground. Some lost souls don't wish to be found. He places the warm egg in your hands, his eyes showing an ancient sadness. Devil blood, seeking angel's grace. Perhaps the best to take his place.
Isn't she just a tiefling?
Their ancestry is tied to the...
I thought they weren't demons, though.
They're infernal ancestry. They're not demons.
Yeah, we have infernal blood and everything.
Just like Nimnil is celestial ancestry.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
She will look down upon the egg and look up at Larcoon. You say that this will bring him back then, yes?
Larcoon shakes his head. The egg pulses with an inner fire. It dawns on you that it is clearly a one-use portal. Tiny cracks begin to appear and seal, showing glimpses of a burning landscape within. You have the sense that it will only allow one tiefling to pass through, and the portal will close quickly behind.
Wild song to be playing right now.
It really picked up the right, yeah.
And song ends.
And here goes Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah.
If I'm not breaking immersion too much, you had wanted to end after the story arc, and
yeah,
so
I follow you.
I thought it. Yeah.
Should we
I
stop
thought it
right
was
now?
a fitting story arc for you in that, and I have no idea when we would have time or the story to figure it out. But if we want to do a side thing with going to hell to get Nimnil, I mean, that could be a thing. But that's a later sort of the details kind of thing, you know.
Do we want to bring him out of there?
Right.
She will look at the egg. And she will shake her head at Larcoon. I can't take such an offer. because my work is more important on the mortal plane as of now.
He will nod his head and reach to take the egg back.
She will give him the egg back.
With that, he will stow the egg and motion out the opening towards your new friend Krusty the Rock Lobster. And Rock Lobster.
Grog will
sorry, I
eye
can't
the
help it.
last egg as it gets stowed.
And depart you must. Home awaits.
I will go and jump on the desk and jump out the window and land on the claw.
Gad gives Larkoon a nod, and yeah, he jumps up the desk and onto the claw.
And for Hope's benefit, it is like a boat, but it is a giant, if you could picture some kind of crazy gnomish contraption or something.
Oh, I can
mechanical
picture this.
lobster.
I bet you this is all what's his goddamn fucking name? This is all fucking Jefferson's goddamn work. I bet you he's involved in
A giant claw of the lobster is right up against that opening where he pulled the telescope back from, giving the party an easy path out to.
Wait, so what is it? Hang on. What is this about Jeffus's thing? What is this? What's this war?
No,
was wanted an airship really bad, but
we want an airship really, really bad. Yeah.
He had the opportunity to get one.
But we got a lot to
I
Gad will
will
inspect the
climb
boat for its
aboard.
controls.
Gad, you will find that the knowledge of how to pilot and man this thing is through your attunement to it is within, yes. Haha.
I am manning the giant crossbow.
Are we going back to Faerun? Are we gonna go to?
Oh yeah, look at that!
Ren?
There's a giant friggin' harpoon. Let's go.
Is Grog the last person to? Is Grog alone, or did everyone else go yet?
Veto has not
Dylan,
stepped
David,
forward yet.
Farkun, and Farkon all like jumped out the window and went for the. They were all checking out this boat pretty quick. There's a lower deck too, y'all. Pretty cool.
Let's go.
They're not going through the astral sea, are they?
I'm manning the harpoon.
Right,
I really hope we don't go to the astral.
Tell me they're not going through the astral sea.
We still have Grog.
You motherfucker.
For everyone else.
We still have Grog, Stu,
hurry
Veto,
up. Guys,
and
come
Hope
on,
inside.
let's
Hope we get aboard.
Come on,
Hope goes aboard.
let's go home.
Is there like a boat's horn, like when a boat is about to go off, like honk honk?
Given the gnomish mechanical nature of this, if you need some form of horn in this, I'll allow it.
Yes. Okay. So they're taking too long. So fucking.
Well, I'm waiting for all you guys to shut the fuck up, but continue.
What's up, Evo? What's good, bro?
No, just everyone else continue. I will be the last aboard.
We're waiting for you.
No, Grog's waiting to be the last aboard.
You're
Grog wants
literally the last one aboard.
say
Okay.
something to
Kind of
Larkoon.
feels like
Veto and
Stu
Grog
should
are
be the
all
last
agreeing.
one since she's
Oh
the
my
warlock
gosh.
of Larkoon, but whatever.
All right, so fine. Veto will take a step towards the claw thing. He's gonna look at Larkoon and say, "Larkoon the Bright, with your radiant hue. Science, not magic, but still something new. The next we meet under logical skies, stay glowing, my friend, and keep those photons wise." And we'll reach out to pet him. And then we'll walk.
Before you pet,
Oh no!
he will say,
no.
your reward, one pet.
And we'll do that. And we'll then board the Claustrosity.
Grog will take a step up, look at Larkoon, and then look at the place where he stowed the egg, and then look back at Larkoon and say, and sigh, like, thank you, before departing. Somewhat relieved, somehow. Satisfied, Still
You
wanting to
said we
become a
all
dwarf,
get
but
gifts. I didn't get one yet.
Farcon's age should be reversed.
Your
with the
gift is
other
the
egg.
lobster.
Should be reversed with the other egg.
As I walk, does it
next part.
as I walk away, does that unconscious goose every 15 feet just kind of appear and then plop down to the ground?
Yes.
Oh, so good.
Until it
Anytime-
appears on the ship with you all.
God, that was-
Larkun will actually nod to Farcon and toss him the egg.
What's this do again? I was too interested in the crab boat.
He doesn't
Sorry,
answer.
I
He just grins at you and turns his attention to Stu.
Okay. Stu, hurry up. We're leaving.
Okay.
I hope you know the moment you show up on the boat with that egg, I'm going to ask you to crack it over my head.
Stu feels the rush, so
Crack
she's
it over
gonna
my
sort-
head.
she's gonna be like,
And Grog gets
Larkun,
teleported.
Thank you for seeing something more in just a little bunny. I hope to prove you, I hope to prove proud by you.
Where's my
And then she'll
fucking
bow
cape?
or curtsy very quickly and then hop on.
He will give you a wink, and as you leave and hop onto the boat, he will kind of call behind you, "Do mischief."
Where's my cloak?
Ooh. Okay.
Embrace the
Farcon.
chaos.
You still have it. Don't worry.
Farcon, crack the egg on my head.
I just
Farcon.
pulled. Here, I'll put Stu on. Or you got Stu.
Sorry.
Okay. You're fine.
Grog, do you want to go to the Night
Where's my
Hills? Do you want to go?
So, Gad, I assume
I'm gonna
will
be not a
begin
plushie.
to direct the crew.
Yeah. You're in.
Set sail. Here, you go ahead, Gad.
Well, I was just gonna say, as I yell, "Embrace the chaos!" The ship itself will. I'll do what needs to be done, and the ship will venture off into wherever the fuck we're going. I don't know what's happening, but we're off, baby.
At home.
I'm at the
Where we
helm.
need
I'm
to go.
spinning the wheel. The
Bye,
fucking
Feywild.
the lobster's turning.
Do I want to go to
I
Crane?
feel like you got like
Crane,
24
we can
hours
go to
probably
Finland, we can
before
go to
someone asks where
fucking-
we're going.
Oh, we can go to the where's the vampire?
So as
Go to this area.
as the lobster,
We're in the astral plane.
As the lobster just sets out and kind of ascends into the sky, you have a sense that it's departing the Feywild, and everything around you seems to lose a sense of
Oh,
definition, and
shit. Here it goes.
you guys are basically gonna journey through the astral sea. But this is where we will pause this session, because I got a lot of work to do now.
We're going into the astral sea.
As do
Oh,
you all. Well,
fuck me.
are you gonna get home? You gotta transit. You gotta sail from the Feywild back to Faerun.
Whoa! What do you mean sail? I don't see a
that?
single mast on this
You
crustacean.
know, it's an expression, sir.
We
It's
gotta
an
swim.
expression.
The lobster has
I'm
got
gonna
to
crawl along the bottom of the freaking astral ocean.
So several things. One, I had fun. I enjoyed this session. I hope everybody did. I tried to really give some what I thought was appropriate narrative structure to the queens and like what the court would be like, and convey that. I went a little over in the storytelling, but I thought it was necessary. The trial was a bit rough to prep for, but I felt like it had a good sense of like high stakes about it. I hope that was conveyed, or that you all had fun with it.
Yeah, this was
That
probably
was-
one of my favorite sessions. So
I stuck my
Glad to
finger
hear
in the
it.
goose.
I got my pipe, so it's one of my favorite sessions.
The ones where my planning is more open.
I don't know what changed about it though.
And I try to roll with you guys seem to be the ones that are the best. So I will have to try and work toward that. It's just always daunting to go in being like, I'm gonna improv half this bitch. It's fun, you know what I mean? But no,
Yeah.
it's good. There's lots of little things to iron out, but one thing, so your journey through the Feywild and leaving the Feywild, and obviously to traverse in a ship, even though the ship is properly endowed, and between Stu being a guide and Gad's
Properly
knowledge of
endowed?
sailing this ship, you can get basically wherever you decide you want to go or are looking to go. So we'll have to sort some of that out as well. So it's up in the air. You don't have to necessarily go straight back home. But this journey, something about it, part of your reward for this exit is that you all have an opportunity to remake your characters into the best version of yourselves. That said, so you can update to 2024 class. Most of you aren't, but that'll give you like the Nick masteries and stuff like that. But it's so I get ultimate DM veto on anything you're trying to change about your character. Your stats are the same, but if you want to change the order, that's fine. You want to change your background, that's fine. You want to drop a class from a multi-class or something, we got to talk about it because that could be integral to the story you've already written about your character. But basically through the harrowing events of the Feywild and the journey that you're going on now, again, you have this opportunity to kind of remake your character into a more perfect version of themselves. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. Because by this point in the session 25, everyone I feel like has a much better sense of the game and what they're doing and their characters than when we started, right?
So we get a choice between 2014 and 2024, is that what you're saying?
I don't see a problem with that. Just know that there are certain benefits in 2024, like the masteries, that don't translate to 2014.
Right,
and
so
we need to make sure that whatever choices we make in regard to this revamp of characters, it's manageable for both DM and party going forward, right? So we have to be aware of that. Again, that's one reason I get ultimate veto, but we'll discuss it. I think we've got a week off. I know we've got a week off because I'm going to Palm Springs for 6 days. So that gives me a little time to not only prep for the deep astral, but I have some artifacts I have to write. You all have this opportunity to mess with your characters. And then on that note, before I let you all bombard me with any questions or chat about the session, everybody's favorite part, XP.
Level up!
XP!
That's say level up, motherfucker. That's all you have to say.
You conquered the Feywild Court. I think, what was it, 7-4 at the final score? That's pretty solid. So that was nine checks in a skill check series where I tried to really go around and involve the entire party, and 7 passed, 4 failed.
I swear, if I don't have enough XP because Hope stayed, I'm gonna be mad.
What I'm gonna do, partially because Stu is joining, partially because I don't know if Hope's staying or going, but Hope she didn't miss a calculation or something and was at like 8,300 when a lot of you were at like 11,000. One way or the other, just as we are all being remade into more perfect versions of ourselves, everyone is level 6 and we'll start at that same baseline level of XP when we resume.
Nice.
So level up is what it really means.
Set XP to 14,000 then.
Yes, set XP to 14,000. So everyone is at level 6. Everyone's on an even playing field. Everybody gets a level up aside from getting to do some reworking of their characters. So if your high stat would be better in wisdom, but you had it in charisma and you need to move it around, but you don't get to change the numbers. You just get to move some stuff. Again, your
change my race?
can be swapped as long as no, you can't change your race. That's integral to story. Background I feel like can be swapped because the way you play who you are is different than like the background you choose. It still needs to like make sense roleplay wise, but I feel like that's an area that you can work some stuff. If you can't normally swap out spells, this is an opportunity to swap out spells. Like there's some opportunity there for you all. So,
but all my special gains for role playing as Veto.
What are you talking about? Special gains for role playing as Veto?
Like from all the previous sessions where I role played my heart out to gain those extra role play experience. Gave it away to
you will have the opportunity to re-earn those things. I mean, to the journey before this place, you leveled before some people.
Yeah.
So
because I worked hard.
I know you're just having a laugh, but you did.
Who's a good boy?
And I enjoyed it, and I'm enjoying things, and we're definitely going to continue. And yeah,
I have to work extra hard because of the things that's going to go on with that goose.
And you're 7 seekers again, I believe, because Stu is now a full-on proper adventurer.
So, what's going to happen with Stu once I get back to the inn and I have 2 stews?
Nope. Nope.
Nope. No, that sounds familiar. Nope.
You're
No.
gonna get a rude awakening, my friend.
No.
Yeah.
I like that.
By the way, my character sheet is on milestone advancement.
You can just swap it to XP. It's on the main first page.
Did you give us an XP number?
It's 14,000.
Yes, set XP to 14,000.
Or
I'm not setting my XP.
Set level to
set
6.
level to 14.
I can go around and set XP. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, set level to 14.
Add X. Well, we are setting it to 14,000.
No,
I'm not adding 14,000. Oh, okay.
No, you set to 14.
How many fingers do I have?
Wow. Damn. All right. Fuck.
You're level 6.
Aren't you
Everyone
at
is
8?
level 6.
You're at
How many fingers do I have?
8.
This many.
I believe you lost your left thumb and your right pinky.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I wasn't sure if I had more fingers.
I mean, I don't recall you ever telling us that Veto had an extra finger.
I don't recall you ever asking for specific body dimension.
Okay, buddy.
Are you just trying to pull some shit right now
Okay,
so
buddy.
that you can have a proper number of fingers?
Maybe.
That's what it sounds like.
What if Goose Willis
Or
has all of my extra fingers and he can shoot them out?
Or so.
Damn, this knife is pog.
What is going on?
We're all taking prestidigitation, right? So we can shit everyone's pants?
Yeah. Yeah. We're playing rules as written in this campaign.
Well, that does it. We're a little ahead of schedule tonight, but that's okay. We wrapped a big story arc, and I'm sure there's some crazy shit ahead. There's at least one session with the journey and the party deciding where they're going. So
one session? You overestimate us, sir.
Bro.
Yeah, no shit.
In the astral sea where the old dead gods live, and where shit's about to go down. That's what's about
It's
to
not
happen.
real. Don't worry about it. This is all a dream.
That's what's about to happen. I'm surprised
Fortunately,
I'm surprised he made them make a wisdom saving throw when he left the Feywild.
I mean, you got
Well,
Dreadnoughts,
We'll
Leviathan.
start the next session with that. Fortunately, the ship does have 2 massive mechanical claws and a giant harpoon. So there is that.
I can't wait to get this the updated pickle and read through it.
I gotta sort some stuff out. A pickle, a circlet, a pipe.
Bracelet.
The bracelet you already have.
How many fingers inside of the goose at a time?
Good luck.
Can he take off the bracelet if he cuts off his hand?
I mean, the way that he can get it, gonna be the bracelet. Just
It'll attach to something else.
Don't encourage him to cut off more body parts, please.
It'll be his new cock ring.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
His new cock ring. Wait, hang on.
Look, you guys.
Yep, you heard me.
You guys remember? I went into Elendier's room for a bit.
Oh,
God damn it!
God.
I don't need to hear about this lore.
It's not lore. It's fact.
It's science.
Oh,
It can be scientifically.
This is
wonderful.
Alrighty, with
All right.
that, I guess it is over. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm gonna
I
spend
need
some
to
time
go
try and
and
fix
check
the
on the
stream
family.
later.
I will try
Yes.
to bounce back in just a little bit. But there's
Alrighty, guys.
baby crying in the
But there it
kitchen
is.
and all
Okay.
kinds of stuff
Catch you
going
guys
on.
next time. Thanks
You all have a good night.
Jeez.
for.
Night,